Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome in to this week's edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. I'm your host, Larry Carson, joined as I am each and every week by co-host Calvin Thomas, co-host Justin, B.A. the Barber Harris. Gentlemen, how y'all doing tonight?
Feeling good. Feeling like I'm about to get y'all 83 points.
You gonna get half them from the free throw line?
Hey, man.
Freebies?
Hey, if y'all get offensive,
Journeyman
y'all
do it now, so anything's possible.
As long as he can say you're the best scorer in his house, I ain't mad at him now. Because it was questionable for a while.
Let's start there real quick. What did y'all think of that? First, I know y'all Kobe fans, you know what I mean? Did y'all take personal offense to, of all people, Bam, like taking Kobe's place in history? We know Wilt is 100. You know, that's kind of like, I don't think that'll ever be touched. But like, how do y'all feel about Bam, like being number 2, taking Kobe's place? You know, Kobe, the game was close. He had to actually come back a little bit. Like, the difference in the game is different as well. What's your thoughts on that? Justin, let me start with you. I know Kobe, your guy too.
I'll say this, even as a resident Knicks fan. So, you know, we don't necessarily sign up for the things that Miami Heat do. But when it comes to the situation, I just don't have a problem with it. I really don't. It started with the original point of the 100 points. Well, that was a blowout too, right? So to get this record is already started off a very similar situation. I had to look it up because I wanted to be right. You know, they was up by 20 points heading into the fourth quarter with no 3-point line. Okay, the game's over. You know what I'm saying? And Wilk had like 69 or something along those lines. And he stayed in the game and dominated. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't take him out. So that's the origins of this record. Let's just call it what it is. This record, that's the origins of it. So now, we fast forward, and unfortunately, so many things we do with Kobe is just like, you can't say anything negative. You can't critique him a certain way. You can't do none of those things. And sometimes I get it. But this situation, like Kobe's situation, was totally different. We don't have to do everything like Kobe. We don't have to get locked in like Kobe. Like, it's that, you hear all the stories from the Toronto Raptors, like, he wasn't saying this, he wasn't doing that, he was so focused and all this stuff. Man was totally the opposite. Man was totally the opposite.
Trying to get every bucket.
And he tried it. So if you're that close, what are you playing for? Just, hey man, why not? I hate the notion of, well, if you up by a certain amount, let's sit you down. Well, yeah, you can do that, but if you're not worried about the postseason, who cares? He's not worried. Miami, he's not worried about postseason. Go ahead and make history. Go ahead on and give it a shot. If you get it, you get it. If not, you gave it a hell of a try. So that's what he did. And honestly, the thing that I guess stood out from the stat sheet was the free throws. That's not his fault. A
lot of it was legit
himself. So if they would have played straight up defense and all this other stuff, then maybe he gets in the 60s and 70s versus eclipsing Kobe. Play defense. You know what I'm saying? That's more, if anything, all the negative, in my opinion, all the negativity that comes in everything, because he's getting some flack for it. I get it. All the other stuff that's coming out right now, it needs to be to one person and one person only, and that is the Washington Wizards head coach, because that's what happened. That was his defense. They were fouling like crazy, play straight up defense, and this doesn't happen, in my opinion.
I mean, Miami was fouling to get him the ball back late, so we got to. But even still, look, Kobe's 62 in 3 quarters more impressive than the 81. But like, if you got a guy on your team that's like that, get him the ball. Let's try to make history. Let's try to get him as many points as we can. So I ain't got no problem with it. Try to get him 100. Let's break that record that doesn't really exist. We ain't got no videotape of it. But let's try to get him as many points as we can. So I ain't got no problem with it. Kobe's on the record books. Kobe's still a better player. Okay.
I think we all agree. It's cool. We're going to revisit this a little later when we get into our basketball. But I felt it was fitting that we start with that, because y'all know what y'all really tuned in to hear us talk about. I mean, look, it is what it is. We here for it. But tonight,
Mike Evans. No,
we're
not. Y'all not. Okay, understood. Understood. I'm the only one.
I have a special guest that's going to join us.
Understood.
A cool homeboy. He went to Poly with y'all. I think he's a little ahead of y'all. My man Marcus. What's up, Marcus? Come on in.
What's happening, fellas?
What's happening? Marcus is a Ravens fan who Like we worked together. We used to talk all the time. We talk boxing, we talk wrestling, we talk all sports. You know what I mean? He knows his stuff. And earlier today, you know, I've been posting little cryptic things on social media, and I always love listening or reading Marcus's reaction to certain things, especially boxing. Nigga knows boxing, but with the Ravens, because Marcus, where you at? You in Dallas right now?
Yeah, I'm in Dallas. I'm in the crib.
Yeah. So he moved to Dallas. So he, you know, this is Calvin and Justin, my homeboy, but Calvin is a Cowboys fan. You know what I mean?
Oh.
So you know what I mean? So yeah. He a Ravens/Cowboys fan, and Justin is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer fan. Now we both Ravens fans, and
you a Giants fan Dallas, too. Don't cut that off. You a
Let
Giants
me ask
fan.
you a question. I'm a Giants fan now. You know, everybody know that. You know what I mean? Call me Big Blue. You know what I mean? That's my nickname anyway.
Yeah, you kind of look like Dexy. You kind of look like sexy Dexy.
It just works. You know what I mean? But I want to let you go first, Marcus, because I'm coming in with heat. They already got a preview of it in our group chat.
Yeah.
I want to hear, what is your thoughts on everything that has transpired? Let me set it up. Last Friday, the Baltimore Ravens, it was announced that they had made a trade in principle. Let's make sure we always highlight that now, because until 4:00 on Wednesday, none of these deals were official. So on Friday, the deal was announced. The Ravens had got Max Crosby, gave up 2 first-round draft picks, one this year, one next year. All right. The whole world celebrating. Me, I was not celebrating, but I'll get into that later. Monday happens. Okay. A lot of people start moving. The Ravens start losing free agents. Isaiah Likely goes to New York. I mean, Linderbaum goes to Vegas. Like, you got corners, safeties, everybody who was a free agent basically left. You know, I think the Ravens retained one guy. They went out and got
they went out and got
right
John
guard,
Simpson.
John Simpson, bring him back to the fold. But other than that, the Ravens weren't active. So like, okay, maybe Max was that big splash. Maybe they don't really have the money to do the rest, whatever. So yesterday, everybody chilling. It's late evening. Trade deadline. I mean, everything's official tomorrow. All of a sudden, I'm just scrolling Twitter, and I posted it literally 1 minute after the Raiders posted it. It said, the trade is off. We have no further comment. All hell broke loose. What was your thoughts, Marcus? And we'll get into the Trey Hendrickson of it all today. But what was your thoughts when you heard that the trade was off, and how did that make you feel about everything that had transpired up until this point?
So originally, when I first heard it, so I was bartending last night. So I bartended out in Frisco, out near actually the Dallas training facility. So I was with some guys, you know, that kind of have some inside information, you know, on NFL. And like one of the guys just walked to the bar. He's like, "Hey, I'm sorry about what happened." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, you don't know?" I'm like, "No." He was like, "Y'all just backed out of the Max Crosby deal." I want to say the words that I said after he said that, but I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this show. So multiple curse words. I want to say the drink I was making, I damn near dropped it. The first thing that came to mind when I heard it was, damn, maybe John Harbaugh ain't the only one that should have got fired. That was the first thought, because it seemed like typical Ravens nonsense. So, and most people don't even remember the Ryan Grant situation.
Yeah,
the Ryan Grant situation, same kind of issue. A lot of people were super excited about Ryan Grant. I don't know why. At the time, it was like, all right, they get the wide receiver.
We come back to that.
Yeah, same to lose Max Crosby, it was like, okay, something bad either happened, or now the Ravens are just being the Ravens again. This is another situation where when they finally got off the pot, buyer's remorse. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Oh shit, they ain't never gave up first round picks before. They just gave up 2. They lost too many free agents, and now he's having buyer's remorse and I didn't know what was going on. So you go out into the world and on Twitter and Facebook, and I had to cut off everything because I was getting annoyed with all the shit that was going on. It's all the nonsense. Everybody turns into a GM. Everybody knows everything. It's conspiracy theories. My timeline is full of now Bengals, Steelers, Bills, and Chiefs fans that if you've been online today, the venom that has come the Ravens' way all day long. Like everything from lock EDC up to take 2 first rounders and give them to the only the Ravens could be successful. Only the Ravens could turn the Raiders into a sentimental favorite. I have never seen that before.
Yeah.
Like ever. So literally what ended up happening was I turned off all my social media and then just left work and went and got drunk. I had there was no conversation I wanted to have aside from the people that I normally talk sports with, you, Larry, a couple other people. And the first person I called, Eddie, my homeboy, he's a Cowboys fan. I called him, and literally the first thing he did when he answered the phone, he started laughing. Hung up. I just hung up. I just hung up. And I kind of earned it because I gave him a lot of shit about Dak for the last few days because of the Dak situation. So I kind of earned that one, but I still hung up on him. So what? I don't care.
All right. So when the Trey Hendrickson deal came down, how did that change your whole opinion of everything that's gone down?
I mean, I assumed that was the reason they did it anyway when it happened. I don't necessarily know how I feel about it because on one hand, Max is a way better defender in terms of overall than Trey. Yeah, because of the run stopping, sealing the edge, those type of deals. But on the other hand, this morning you come out with the stories from Adam Schefter and everything comes out that they were trying to get both. They were pretty much trying to run some type of scheme where they would get both, bring them both in, and turn the defensive line into something we've never seen before. I don't know if I believe that because I've never seen EDC spend that kind of money. So to think that he's going to have close to $100 million in cap on a defensive line, I don't know if I necessarily believe it. I feel better because they at least went out and got somebody, but I don't know if I'm still 60-40 that EDC should have gotten fired with John Harbaugh. Like I'm not necessarily happy. I'm just not as bummed. Like instead of 4 drinks last night, I might have 2 tonight, maybe.
Gotcha. All right, Calvin. Now everybody know Calvin is the rational, Ravens fan. He's used to being a Cowboys fan where the worst thing always happens. He's used to a general manager who's the owner, who drags his feet on every deal, who doesn't get the real deal done that needs to happen. So you're used to failure. I get it, Calvin. So I hear all your excuses, and I'm ready and I'm prepared
excuses
to rebut all of them. Go ahead. Tell me why you are happy with everything that's transpired.
I never said I was happy. I am defending EDC and the Ravens until I hear otherwise. So for the most part.
Go ahead.
But similarly, last night I get the text, everything happens. The first thing I think, they're going to Trey Hendrickson. Don't know if he was talking to them beforehand or after, but there was a report from a Bills beat writer this before it happened that they were meeting with his people. It was them. It was the Chiefs, another team, and they said it was a mystery team waiting for Hendrickson. And he thought it was Chicago because they missed out on Max Crosby. So he was thinking, it's Chicago. They're going to offer more money. We can only do but so much. This is before the Josh Allen restructure as well. So they can only do but so much salary cap wise. And I think he was asking for 30 at the time, and they were only offering like 20, whatever. So of course it comes out later that it's Baltimore and not Chicago. That was the mystery team. A quote unquote EDC was talking to him last night, like Marcus has said, supposedly. This is all that happens. So my perspective from this, why y'all mad? I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying why y'all mad. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. We have the Raiders' point of view. They released that press release to say they declined the trade and then put all the onus on the Ravens. And the Ravens didn't say anything until EDC spoke this afternoon, and I haven't heard anything. But it supposedly was with a radio station or something. They're going to play clips tomorrow. Okay.
It's all over Twitter.
Okay. and he basically put it on the injury and said that they try to work out a deal. Now, if you want to say he wanted to walk back those 2 picks, I agree with you on that, because paying 2 picks and one is 14 is a high cost for someone that will not put you over the top in everyone's opinion. You still had more work to do. Now, from the perspective of this cost him to lose a lot of free agents, I do not agree with that, because every free agent they lost, I did not see them coming back outside of Jordan Stout. That's the only free agent that I thought would be back. Everybody else, there was no reasonable expectation for them to be back without you overpaying for him. Likely, he got the deal that Mark Andrews got. We know what happened there. Linderbaum, I'm not overpaying Linderbaum, who's an average center at best. We saw what he did last year, but now all of a sudden, because there's a lack of centers, he's the marquee center all of a sudden. He's not worth $9 million more than the second highest paid center, in my opinion. It's a loss, but it's a loss I'm not going to pay for. And I'm not going to stretch my cap to appease his ego when he's not worth it, in my opinion. That's a whole nother story. But to then blame that situation on missing out on free agents, I don't agree with that. And I think that's irrational Ravens fans who are just emotional and flip on the Ravens at the turn of a coin. So that's my perspective from that. But just in regards to Max Crosby and Trey Hendrickson, why y'all mad? Is this a better deal than what we would have had 2 days ago or a day ago this time?
That's the problem. That is the problem I have with y'all right now. That is the problem I have.
Let me go first, sir. Let me go first.
Go ahead, Justin.
Because you can go.
I'm gonna go.
You can go.
You know
I know.
Go.
So just coming from the outside looking in this situation, it's like, and I understand, Calvin, your point of view. Like, well, in this situation, I feel like we got Trey Henderson, so we still got our pass rusher that we need in a sense. But it's something to say. I feel like Max Crosby was the tipping point of this offseason. So whenever he gets squared away, he gets his money, he gets his deal done, and everything like that. It's like it's like a domino effect.
He was the first, correct.
Correct. So he was the main one. So everybody else. So the entire league started to make moves based off of that situation, and then that happens.
But do you think he would have? But you're assuming he would have passed everyone else's physical as well. Now we know the Dallas perspective over the Dallas physicians' perspective. So we know that
they knew the situation heading into it. It wasn't
everybody did.
They even word on the street is that they even changed up the physical I guess metrics of it to make it a little bit harder, so they know that he wouldn't be able to pass said test or whatever the case.
They said he was on crutches until 2 days ago. Like
it's just it is what it is. Everybody knew that. He was getting traded wherever he was going.
So why would you fail him? That's the point. That's the point. That's the point.
So let me ask you a question. So let me ask you, if this won't happen at this point, but if he wasn't going to even be ready for training camp in 2 months, and you know that as a Ravens fan, does it look like a bad trade then? If he can't even get traded to another team because we know everything that's out there.
You traded him because he was the best defensive end that was available.
No, I traded him because he was supposed to be. Period. So I traded him because the Raiders said he would be ready in June. That was their. So if they were disingenuous,
are you sure about that? They said they knew he was going to be ready for the season.
They said he was going to be ready.
What are you there in June for?
They said he was going to be ready for training for mini camp.
Yeah, they said he'd be ready for training camp.
I thought he said mini camp.
I mean, come on, man.
I thought the report was mini camp. He'll be ready.
At the end of the day, you knew he was hurt when you traded.
I ain't mean to cut you off, Justin. Go ahead.
No, you're good. It's so, and like I said, I'll end with this. It looks shrewd. It looks like it was a backdoor way out of the situation, and you still kind of got what you want out of it. I'm gonna say this. I don't like that. I don't like the karma effects of that. You don't play with the football gods in this situation, and I think things have a way of biting in your ass. So if anything happens for the regular season for them, people are going to go. I'm going to be the one to go. It's going to be pointed on this show. Remember that damn Max Crosby deal? So you just don't want to play with Juju like that. And then this is the rest of the owners that's looking at you too. So you still got to do deals with everybody else moving forward, and they know how you operate. People were shaky about that Jair Alexander situation when y'all got rid of him. And then he said 10 11 it came out though, right? 10, 11 days later, they say what? Hey, I don't feel like playing football or whatever, or I got issues or whatever. Y'all knew that. EDC knew that. So it's like, okay, you got away with one. Now you tipping that wheel again. I don't know how many times you want to keep doing that. Larry, you can go.
This is my thing. And Marcus, get back in there because I know you had something to say, and then I'll clean it up.
Well, the two things that I wanted to get off, I think what everybody's missing on the physical with regards to him failing the physical, they knew he wasn't going to pass the physical. Everybody knew that. He still hasn't had surgery on the meniscus. I think the problem was when he's getting surgery. They said his surgery is maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks away or something like that. So he still hadn't gotten the surgery yet. He still has to get the surgery. So I think the problem was, I think his doctor came out and dropped the X-rays and kind of explained the issues with his knee, and so the problem is it's the long-term effects of this injury. So basically, what they're saying is because of the bone-on-bone issues, within 2-3 years or so, he's going to have an arthritis problem, which it sounds a lot worse than it is, because I'm pretty sure the majority of football players have an arthritis problem. Like I don't see that as a big deal. You only had him on 4 years anyway left on that contract. So let's just say you get 2.5, 3 years out of him.
3 years.
He was gone anyway after that. So like I understand. Like I'm not necessarily mad that they backed out, because if I'm giving away 2 first rounders and then the doctor that I pay is saying, hey, don't do it, and I still try to get it done, so I go get 4 other doctors, independent of who I normally deal with. And they say the same thing. Hey, long-term, this might be an issue. I don't know if I'm willing to, bet the farm on that. Like, I mean, EDC is not a gambler. So we kind of all should assume that when they said that, and the deal wasn't finalized. So if everybody made, that basically, they did, it was bad business. Business is business. If I have a chance to back out of something that I think is a bad deal, there's nobody on this planet that's going to stay in that deal because, it makes everybody else feel good. No, I want my money back. I went and bought this car, and when I got there, the engine did not sound like I thought it was going to sound. I want my money back. I have 30 days to get my money back. Give it here. And all the juju and all of the teams and agents not going to do business with them. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Because money talks. Yes, they are. If I got something you want, you call on my phone. Point blank, period. So if Lamar comes and says, hey, man, I want to go. Every team and every agent that said they wasn't going to call the Ravens no more do business is going to do what? Call Eric DeCosta. Hey, I need this quarterback. What do you want? What can I give you to get this quarterback? Oh, Kyle Hamilton or whatever. So, like I said, I was mad because I was being a fan. Last night, I was upset. I was waiting for the Max Crosby jersey to drop so I could buy one. I really was. I was sitting on Fanatics waiting. I thought maybe it would drop today at 4 p.m. So I was being a fan. But logically, I'm cool. Like I'm good either way. We got Trey, so I'm good.
I'm glad y'all are good. I'm glad y'all are cool. Well,
I'm sorry about the spaz.
Because this is the thing. It was a dumb deal from the beginning. Why are we giving this man points for cleaning up a mess that he created? Like, this guy just had a major surgery, right? By all accounts, even the doctor, he wrote it out. Like, yeah, he's not going to be able to walk for a while. You traded 2 first-round draft picks for a guy coming off of a meniscus who is like, what, 29 years old? How old is he?
He's 29.
He's 29.
Either just turned 29 or is 29 now.
I thought
Henderson is like 31, ain't he?
Henderson's 31. Yeah, Garrett's 30. Garrett's 30, and I think TJ Watt just turned 30.
Yeah, because they're 2 years apart. So you giving up 2 first-round picks for a 29-year-old guy.
He'll be 29 in August.
Going into the season, he'll be 29. My point is, it was a dumb deal. When have the Ravens ever drafted sent a draft pick that high anywhere, let alone 2? And then you're going to tell me that this wasn't a desperation move because you just fired John Harbaugh. Everybody knows that everything is on you. The owner sat up there next to you, and y'all laughed and giggled, talking about, that's my guy. He going to show you how great he is. Where's the Lamar Jackson deal at? I'm still waiting. Everybody clapping. Oh, they restructured the deal, freed up some cap money.
That's another
look into it a little further. Look into how that's going to hurt them even more now.
It's what, $14 million? That's another story.
That's a bad conversation. Because when you sign the deal, all that money hits.
I was going to say this lining up to Miami getting some money too. So if you want to go down that scenario, it's
This was the dumbest offseason I've seen the Ravens have in a long time. The number one goal this man had sitting at that press conference after they fired John Harbaugh was what? Lock in Lamar Jackson. Extend his contract. Not restructure it, and now you give him this lump money. Now all of a sudden, if you do get the restructuring down, you can't now give it all in.
You can't do it. You can't do it this year. You guys got to be next year. You can't do it this year.
You are on the hook, and now this drags on another season of Lamar not getting his money.
The next year's last year.
The same bull crap, and y'all talking about all this other stuff. You agreed to the trade on Friday. On Monday, everybody started leaving out. I don't care what you say, Calvin. We lost some good pieces.
So So who are you keeping though? Like who are you keeping? Who are you keeping?
Patrick Ricard.
The offense changed, so I can't.
I'm about to say that the offensive coordinator doesn't use the fullback, so that was out.
Declan Doyle's offense, and then he signs a blocking tight end today. If this is his offense, I can't be mad at Ricard leaving. Now, as a fan, as someone that's seen him for 3 years, yeah. Say that again.
Cola wasn't worthy. You bringing him back?
You want to pay $9 million to tight end too?
At this point, if you do what you're supposed to do,
but hold up, and also in Declan Doyle's offense, the second tight end is a blocking tight end. So unless Cole is going to be a better blocker on the level of Mark Andrews, then he's expendable. And like I said, are you going to pay your second tight end $9 million? Because that's the case. But hold up, if that's the case, go pay likely $1 million more annually.
Is Mark Andrews a number one tight end at this point?
He is your number one tight end. He is your tight end.
He is the tight end now. I'm talking about should he be? Should he be?
We've already said they likely should have been the guy going forward. Whatever happened between training camp when he was supposed to be close to a contract and when he came back and he felt like he could have got more money and took it to free agency and he didn't get more money, but they decided to sign Andrews. So, and if you want to say that was Harbaugh and that was part of his plan getting to New York, then you could do that as well. But that was the timeline.
Y'all try to throw that on Harbaugh. EDC got to eat that. That's on him. Now
somebody got to eat it. You're right. Somebody got to eat the fact that they wanted to lock in tight end.
Let's look at the moves they made over the last year. You trade for Draymond Jones, right?
Yes.
Where's he at?
New England.
You trade Oweh.
But were you going to re-sign him?
I let you talk. You trade Oweh away, and who'd you get back in return? Gilman, right? Where's Gilman? Gone. So now you go out and get this guy from New England off the scrap heap, who everybody like. Thank you for taking him off our hands. What a great signing. Go ahead.
You as well as me know when Minter came in, and Marcus, you could test this as well. We all heard Tony Jefferson was coming back because that's Minter's guy. So when that happens, you know they're losing either Darius Washington or Gillen, one of the two. You kind of thought. Okay, my point. You thought it was going to be Washington because you thought Gillen was his guy, but then you're like, well, why did he trade him away if that's his guy? So you knew it was a probability that both of them were gone. Maybe you sign Darius and you let him get his first year back healthy to a 1-year deal, and then he goes somewhere else. But at worst, you knew one of them was gone because we knew Tony was coming in, and you knew it was going to be Starks, Hamilton, and Tony Jefferson. That was the talk around everywhere. So I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that wasn't a surprise because everyone knew that was happening. Tony Jefferson's not here yet, but
still on his roster.
I'm with you there. 44 podcast got to go. He got to go.
How much money you getting paid? At some point.
Is this last year on his contract?
I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, I think so.
And he getting a lot of the money this year too. Like I think it's like 5 players make up most of the cap. I haven't liked one move they made until this morning when they tried to make up for their mistake and went out and got Trey Hendrickson. That should have been a move from the jump. Why would you go out and trade 2 first-round picks for a guy that you can just sign this guy off the Now, this story about they was going to get 2 of them and put them together. If you believe that bullshit, you are a dummy. Because
Trey said that. So, I mean, it's no reason for him to make that up.
The contract, they ain't drawing the contract. It's a reason.
Come on, man.
Well, he said it. He said apparently this report was yesterday.
They still.
Now, I don't know whether I don't think I believe that.
You gonna put all that money into your defensive line? Metabike not even playing. He getting paid. Are they nullifying his deal? Or are they gonna honor the contract?
I think
about that.
I don't think you I don't think you trade for Crosby or sign Hendrickson if Madubuike isn't if you're anticipating Madubuike to play this year. I think that's yes. I think the plan for him to come back.
The talk is he's playing.
I don't think you would have tried to get a defensive end if he wasn't coming back. I think you would have started to rebuild at that point from the line perspective. I don't know. I think you don't make that move. So I think
I don't like anything I've seen. I don't like any of the moves that have been made outside of the one caveat. Y'all saying, okay, Harbaugh, I know y'all hate Harbaugh. I get it. I
like that move.
I get it. But the point is, your head coach brings a sense of stability to your franchise. And once you remove that head coach, it tells you, and you see that all these erratic things are happening, that tells me that the head coach had a lot to do with why the franchise was so stable. He's been there for 18 years. And a lot of drafts have been going to the credit of, EDC. A lot of these moves, EDC. I think people are underestimating how much of an impact John Harbaugh's had on some of the process this team has taken over the last 18 years. We're not talking about 5 years. We're not talking about 10 years. We're talking about 18 years. And in one offseason, all of a sudden, your GM go out and trade 2 first-round draft picks for an edge rusher coming off of meniscus, and that's revoked. You can't look at that and say, something's wrong with the stability here. You go out there and restructure. Look, I love Lamar Jackson. Y'all know I love Lamar. But at some point, doesn't Lamar have to hold some of this culpability as well? Get the deal done, bro. What is he asking for? Does anybody know his request? What is he looking for? What type of figure is he looking for? What type of money are we talking here? I don't like nothing I see. Look, y'all can say, okay, you got 2 first-round draft picks. What you gonna do with them? You gonna trade them now? You was willing to trade them the other day. Are you gonna trade them now? Who you gonna go get? Now I heard Dan talk about go get AJ Brown. AJ Brown ain't worth no.
I'm not trading him at 1. I'm not trading 1.
But you got to do something. Your offense has taken no step forward. You have no number. You relying on Bateman and Zay. That's what you do. That's what we doing. That's what we running with this year.
Well, didn't they make Bateman available for trade?
Ain't nobody.
I thought they just extended Bateman last year.
They extended him last year.
They did, but I thought they made him available.
That's a rumor.
I don't know what you would get for him. You know, I don't. Maybe you get a punter.
Yup. Look, we all Ravens fans. That's not the point. But at some point, Ravens
let me get a charger. Hold on.
Have to analyze what has really happened with this team. And if you be honest with yourself, the general manager has not done enough to improve this roster. And what's going to happen is y'all going to go into the season thinking, we got Lamar Jackson. We got Derrick Henry. We got enough. We should win. When in the trenches, where you win games, we are not strong. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think Bisciotti was involved in the trade in the Max Crosby trade?
I don't.
Not like EDC went to him and said, "I'm going to do this. What you think?" or "I'm going to do this. Are you okay with yes or no?" But do you think he put on his Jerry Jones hat? I think
the pressure of Bisciotti was involved because he on the hot seat, so he felt like he needed to make a hot, flashy move, which I think was a dumb move. I know everybody loved Max Crosby. But if you look at the numbers, Trey Hendrickson actually is a more pressure, more sacks.
He's not as good against the run.
He gets more sacks, but he's not a better player.
But he also didn't have a Roquan Smith playing behind him and a Kyle Hamilton either. So in theory, it should be better.
Not the Max Crosby though.
I love Max Crosby's motor, but if they talking about that's another thing. If he was going to be healthy enough for this season, what are we talking about? This is a Super Bowl or bust team, right? We're not talking about 4 or 5 years down the road. We're talking about win now.
We're talking about 2-3 years. That's why Trey Hendrickson 2-3 years.
So why foul him then? Justin, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. I feel sorry. I feel different about Trey Hendrickson. Like in the offseason, it was a lot of rumors that he was going to come to Tampa Bay too, and I had my reserves for that. I just think when I look at Max Crosby, his engine it goes.
He got a hell of an
engine. Like he's a workout warrior, and I believe that even if he is hurt, he's going to work his way back into shape. The problem with Trey Hendrickson is that he's always on the max side of his shape now. I feel like he like 2 hamburgers away from being out of shape, and now you got a diminishing value with Trey Henderson. He looks like the type. I look at him and I look at JJ Watt. JJ Watt looked totally different out of that position. You know what I'm saying? Like similar build, similar size, but it was different. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't like the Trey Henderson pick myself. Even if he would have signed with Tampa, I'd have been happy, but I would still had the same notion. Like, yo, keep him under wraps. So if y'all can keep him under wraps when it comes to his eating and things like that, keep him in shape. And like I said, boom, now you have him with your defense that you have now. Shout out to Kyle Hamilton. He could do multiple things and things like that. Y'all will be all right. It's just you got to keep him focused. And I don't think he's able to do it.
Calvin, what kind of cap room we got now?
I mean, so supposedly they still have, outside of the cap allotted to rookies, they still got about 15-20 million. This is before Awuzie's deal, so I don't know if that's fully guaranteed or what's going on with that. But they still have cap room, and even to make additional moves, which you will figure you got to still get a center. You're looking at Green Bay center's already gone to Cleveland. I forgot there's another free agent center that's still out there. Mm-hmm. Are you going with Emory? Are you going Emory Jones at left guard? Is that going to be your left guard? Is him and Voies going to fight it out? If not, then you got to replace left guard. I mean, we were high on him. He was a rookie last year. You're probably set at running back. I'm assuming Keaton Mitchell's not coming back.
They already tendered him.
I'm assuming Keaton Mitchell's going to New York, and you're going to roll with Ali, Justice Hill, and
God.
Which I'm not opposed. So I'm cool with that.
Ali.
So, but they still have cap room to make additional moves.
I don't know why Ali's still on the team.
You like them not retaining Keaton Mitchell?
Keaton Mitchell is worse than Rasheen Ali in pass protection, my opinion.
Is his internet slow or is it me?
A little bit.
Yeah, it's freezing a little bit.
I think it's you, Calvin. Reset your internet. But anyway, my problem here is tight end. You can say, okay, they're not going to run a fullback no more. Derrick Henry ate were caught out there. I don't know why you changed that, but whatever. That's what you want to do. Matter of fact, didn't they the offensive coordinator, he came from where?
Chicago.
They had 3 tight ends. They had 3 tight ends in Chicago.
Yeah.
You had
the rookie, Loveland, Cole Kmet,
Loveland,
another block right now.
So they need another tight end if you're going to run that offense.
So the third one is the one we just signed, right?
No, we only got one tight end on the roster other than the guy that just signed. That was Andrews, right? Ah, man, I don't see it. All right, so right now, let's be honest. The draft, you got the 14th pick. What are you coveting at that pick? I mean, you got it back. You got to do something with it. Do you trade the pick? Do you try to get some value? I don't see nobody at 14 that's going to change your life, but Kyle Hamilton was at 14. I mean, you can make a splash at that position. I'm not saying you can't. I was never for trading 2 first-round picks, so I'm glad.
Yeah, the Ravens signed the third tight end from Chicago, Durham Smith.
Okay. Yeah, so he'll be the I'm assuming they're going to take another tight end at some point.
He's going to be on special teams somewhere.
Yeah, because they're going to have to take another tight end. Andrews can't be your only option at tight end. Not at this point. He run with a piano on his back. But again, we'll see. I'm not happy, but I get it. I'm open to whatever happens next. It is what it is. But Calvin, this you ride with your boys. I'm happy for you. You know what I mean? It's cool. Marcus, I see you got a little bit more skeptical, but the jury's out for me. The jury is out. I need another playmaker on offense. Zay Flowers cannot be my number one option.
So you want to trade for AJ? As much as you talked about him all year long, you want to trade for AJ?
I hate AJ, so no, I don't want him on my team.
Why didn't they keep D-Hop on the team?
He's a free agent. They can bring him back.
They ain't throw it to his ass when he was on.
I'm about to say, I mean,
the offensive coordinator that did that gone now. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm not that
offensive coordinator though, or was it Lamar?
Well, they said that the OC like the young guys
on the field. He wanted what's the
Walker. He wanted Tez Walker.
Yeah, he liked Tez Walker and the other kid.
Yeah,
he was giving them snaps.
The punt returner.
The boy from Colorado, right?
No. I'm thinking about the punt returner a couple years ago. They wanted, the one that had the long reception.
Yeah. He won that game for us. Yeah. Tylan Wallace.
Yeah, them two.
Yeah. Ain't no playmakers, man. You ain't winning no games. Again, I do think it was a dirty move. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think it was dirty because at the end of the day, other teams made moves according to thinking.
Hey, speaking of that,
Crosby was gone. You know what I mean?
What about the Raiders? Just to be analytical for a second, like they made moves and now they have Max Crosby back on the roster. Like,
I mean, the way he spoke in that Instagram post, he loved being in Vegas. So, ain't he right at home?
You say when you're done. Of course, you say that when you already.
Yeah, I ain't got no reason to burn bridges.
It was 12 minutes and it was 11 minutes about the Raiders and 1 minute about the. He
knew he was going to get traded. He had
it. Take an article out in a newspaper. Thank you. Move on. Like, bro, come on, man.
The guy's a recovering crackhead. He does. He's a
recovering. Wow.
He's an emotional guy.
Wow. You could have left it at addict. Yo, God.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he speaks with his emotions.
Basically,
he talked to Darren Waller. He want to come here.
He went through some things with the Raiders. Thank you for putting up with my BS along the way. I'm a much better person. Like, you're supposed to show love, especially with
6 years sober, Larry. 6 years.
That's amazing. Somebody said when he posted that, he like, it's for the best I didn't go to Baltimore. Too many vices down there.
Yeah, I saw a post on Twitter right after the failed physical that said he popped a fentanyl.
Jesus.
I saw that too.
They said he came to the harbor and bought a bad batch. He was already high. I was like, that's fucked up.
I seen him. He was down the harbor. I'm like, hold on. They said he came to the physical high as a mother. They was like, oh no, he can't. If you're in Vegas, you stay too. You good in Baltimore, but nah. I was thinking about go get Darren Waller. Go get Darren Waller. He recovering. I mean,
you gonna bring him back to the place where he had his vices?
He flourished after he left here. I think he played last year, man.
Yeah. He left.
You're gonna bring him right back and put him on Pennsylvania Avenue, huh? Send him right back to the Wolves.
They into rehab projects right now. Clearly, they desperate. But anyway, it is what it is. Man, we got a lot more to get into, but we had to talk about that. I think the Trey Hendrickson move kind of took some of the sting off. So I'm not as mad as I was yesterday. Because if we'd have shot this show last night, bruh, y'all didn't want to see me. I was hot.
I know it was probably steam coming from your head.
Golly, boy. I was ready. Like, somebody need to shoot this. I mean, not like, with a video camera, but I was so mad at Eric DeCosta. Yeah, you heard me. But I don't like this man. I really don't. And then y'all need to watch that press conference. I really wanted them both. Nobody's more disappointed than me.
Yeah, he said it was gut wrenching.
Come on, man.
You gotta say
he poured it on. He poured it
on national TV. He poured it on. That bull crap. You was not trying to sign both of them.
Called him a favor. I mean, we ain't gonna never know.
Anyway.
So all right. So let me ask y'all this. He gets traded, right? Max Crosby gets traded? Yes or no?
I mean, he ain't getting no 2-1s. That's the question.
Yeah, yes or no?
I don't even know where the market is now because all the teams that were kind of in the fold, I think aside from Buffalo and maybe New England, I don't know anywhere else that he would go.
Buffalo signed
Jalen Phillips or no, Bradley Chubb.
They signed Chubb. Yeah,
Bradley Chubb. So
but he only got $30 million, I think, like 36 or something like that.
I mean, I don't think they got money to sign to absorb his cap.
I thought Dallas flunked them because they wanted to lowball him. You know what I mean? Like yeah, they don't look good.
But they said Chicago offered 2-1s, so Dallas wasn't even high. It's just the Chicago ones were in the 20s, and Dallas has a 1 in the 12 in the teens or whatever.
That's why I think it's a dirty move by the Ravens by going out there and offering 2-1s. Everybody else had to go look elsewhere. Like Dallas doesn't make that trade for Rashad Gary
If you calling it dirty, but it's not the Ravens' job to look out for everybody else.
No, but if you believe that somebody's off the board and you allocate your funds elsewhere, and that is dirty, man. That's not playing fair.
Hey, look, man, you overpaid my center, so I couldn't get him. Right back at you.
I didn't want him. You know me.
That was too much.
I never liked Linda Ball.
Right back at you.
A bum. But
yeah, they gave him 81, and that 81 is pretty much fully guaranteed. That's nuts.
I have no idea how they did that.
Pre-snap, them fumbles, he almost got Lamar killed one time. Nah, man.
He gets pushed in the backfield too much.
Yeah, well, like I say, when your guards got to be great for you to flourish, so exactly. I got to pay guards for you to be great.
Yeah.
You don't make anyone else better. No, I can't pay you that.
Y'all still got Falele?
You're free agent.
I don't want to talk about that. He don't live here.
He about to go to New York too.
We don't need him. We don't know that guy.
He about to go to New York.
Harbaugh was given the company line, all year because that's the groceries that EDC gave him to play with. That's what he had to work with.
I'll give you that. I've said that EDC.
Well, you can't have it both ways. You can't give them credit for drafting and some of the things that they've done over the 18 seasons and then say EDC gave him the groceries. No, he's in on the draft. He makes calls.
At the end of the day, the offensive lineman that he had to choose from, Falele was the best of the best that he had at that option. Now, you take that for whatever it is. You could have made a trade. You could have went out and got somebody mid-season if they improved the team, but they didn't do it. You know what I mean? Look at the moves they making up in New York. Phenomenal moves. That team,
the punter, the backup tight end.
The
third string or fourth string safety.
The fullback. Watch Scatterboo flourish next year. Oh, I can't wait. Ooh,
y'all giving them a lot of credit for paying backups and a punter.
Sometimes you got to get out the mud.
Look, you putting a lot on Jackson Dart to target Isaiah like would be his number one. Right. Like we ain't really seen nothing from Jackson Dart. And Malik Nabers gonna be back healthy too.
Watch when they sign Kyler Murray as his back. Oh yeah. I'm joking. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here, Marcus. We had a pleasure to have you tonight. Appreciate you, brother. You done walked away. All right. Appreciate it, man. Holla. Guys, let's get into these other teams. Justin, what have you done?
Say goodbye, yo. That's crazy.
I'm gonna bring him back in a second.
That's very Ravens like.
I'll let you back now. Marcus about to get out of here. We appreciate you hopping on tonight. And tell us where you at, man. You got any shows or anything you hop on regularly? Or if not,
I hop on periodically. A couple of places for boxing, wrestling, football. That's pretty much it. I got yours, maybe one or two others, but it's nothing consistent. Yeah. Mainly just when stuff like this or big fights pop up.
Yeah. I gotta bring you on. We gotta talk some WrestleMania stuff coming up because I know you got some opinions.
Oh, look, I got something for you too. Hold on.
Oh.
Yeah. I was mad he think that phone was gonna stay up.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's just one of the real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, got the big heavy. I found a guy, which I don't even know if it's safe now to get from because he's in the Middle East, that makes everything. It's one of the guys that used to make all of the old belts. So I got the Flair, the Ultimate Warrior, Intercontinental belt, the Shawn Michaels one.
Okay.
I got the Stone Cold belt on the way.
Okay.
And I just picked up the WBC belt maybe like 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Man. Yeah, I got the NWA one, the old one. I got the one similar to that, but mine was like, I got mine maybe 25 years ago. So at that point, they wasn't like that yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I stopped after that. But that's what's up, man. It's a guy named Leather by Dan. He does them, the authentic ones too.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Anyway, appreciate you coming on. We gotta get you on some WrestleMania coverage in a couple weeks. But as always, fun time talking to you, and we'll get with you soon. All right.
But y'all boys be safe.
All right, bro.
You too.
All right, Justin. Let's talk about some of these other transactions that have happened. What's some of the moves that have jumped out to you thus far with the free agency, the trades? I know it's been a lot going on around the league. I know we talked about the Ravens for damn near hours, so let's mix it up.
No, it's all good. Of course, I'm going to bring up Mike Evans, as I jokingly said earlier.
That's why I'm
we need to talk about that.
It's two things with that. One, I joked about it on the show. The fact that we lost, it was the Atlanta game when we gave up 3rd and 28. And I joked, I said, they got Mike Evans acting out of character because he was walking back to the locker room saying 3rd and 28. Basically, I can't believe that we lost that game in which Kirk Cousins did what Kirk Cousins do against us. Shout out the fact that he's no longer.
So pause that. Are you saying that Kirk Cousins is the reason why Mike Evans is no longer a Tampa Bay Buccaneer?
No, I'm saying Todd Bowles is the reason why Mike Evans is no longer a Buccaneer. And I guess amongst the Tampa community, through social media, we was kind of like side-eyeing each other, like this not gonna be it, is it? Like this ain't it, is it? That was it. That was it, because it's not like we didn't offer him enough money. We offered him money. We offered him a significant amount of money, so it wasn't like
more than San Francisco.
We shorted him. Yes, it was up there. It was very comparable to San Francisco. He wanted to leave. He wanted to go. He wanted to go somewhere else, and I can't knock him for that. So he's definitely on the Mount Rushmore, as we did during the preseason. Go back, check that show. But it's like, it is what it is. So shout out to Mike. I got nothing but love for Mike, and I hope he do well with San Fran. I'm just mad that he chose San Fran. And why am I mad that he chose San Fran? And I want to see if Lennar can attest to this. But there's a growing, I don't want to say a rumor. It's almost like a factual. There's some type of energy plant or something near San Francisco 49ers.
Near the practice facility.
Near the practice facility. And they are legitly, like, you can check all the stats that you want to. They get hurt more than anybody else. Mm-hmm. So then you bring on somebody that gets hurt every goddamn year. And that hamstring is soft as whatever you want to call it. So it's I love Mike, bro, but you're gonna go over there, you're gonna get hurt, and you're not gonna make it through the whole season. Damn. And it's just, it is what it is. And those playmakers on that team are very fair skinned. You got too many of them. So shout out to Mike, but that's like the number one most important thing that I thought about. I guess we draft Emeka Egbuka for a reason, just in case this actually happened, and it happened the very next season.
Do you think he thought he was like being taken out of the game plan or something?
No, because he was always featured.
Y'all got?
He was always featured. He was always Baker's favorite. And we always try to give him that 1,000 yards. So he knew that was on the table. And yes, on top of that, he lost that too. You know what I'm saying? So he lost the record. It was just I'm starting to think that was keeping him in Tampa Bay. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he chose to go elsewhere. It is what it is. But he was featured, so it's not like he was getting like less and less. If anything, Chris Godwin's the person that I can attest that to. Chris Godwin's kind of working his way out the system based off of health and things like that. But now he has no other choice but to be center point yet again.
Calvin, any other moves jump out to you from this happened thus far?
Oh, the Rams trading for Trent McDuffie, trading their own pick. They still got Atlanta's first round pick, which I believe is in the teens, or maybe it's a little bit less than that. And also signing the other corner from Kansas City, Jordan Watson, Jalen Watson, something like that. So they basically took Kansas City's two starting cornerbacks, and now they're, especially Trent McDuffie, who's arguably top 3, top 4 cornerback in the league, and now they're in LA. And we know LA had problems in their defensive backfield, and they fixed that problem, and they still have a top, I'll say 15 draft pick in which they can go anywhere with that pick. They still probably need a backup quarterback, still looking for that quarterback of the future. There's a rumor that they will be looking at Anthony Richardson and just have him sit behind Stafford and sit in that offense kind of for the future. But they really stood out, in my opinion. Like, you can make the argument that, they're neck and neck with Seattle. We've seen the matchups that they've had last year. They were 2-1 against them. So I think they're right there now in the NFC.
Yeah, a couple of moves that really stuck out to me was some of these pass rushers who got paid. You got Owe. Owe got paid, going to Washington, coming back to the DMV area. Look, we saw him very close here in Baltimore. He had some good seasons. I didn't think he ever had a great season. To me, 15 to 17 to 18 sacks, that's a great season. But you get 10 sacks, you're a solid player. And Owe was a solid contributor to a defense, but he never became that guy that you felt like the offense had the game plan for. Now, last year, playing next to somebody like a Khalil Mack out there in Los Angeles, I think he kind of unlocked him a little bit, and he played a little bit more. I think a contract year. Sometimes in a contract year, guys play above themselves, and I think after leaving Baltimore, he played pretty damn well, and he earned himself the money. Another big one was Jalen Phillips. Like you leave Philly to go to Carolina. Now we saw what Carolina was able to put together. Carolina trying to, build off of the success they had last year. They've been buyers in this offseason, so we'll see how that's able to do. And then, look, as much as we talk about, the success and, we talked about to start the show, Max Crosby, we talked about Henderson. And that deal there, Henderson was the number 1 rated free agent coming into this class.
Yeah.
And the Ravens got him. So that's a big move. If they had not been able to get him and this trade was rescinded like it was, the question is, what were you going to fall back on? I hate to revisit that, but if you're telling me, just this point, I meant to make it earlier, had they not had somebody else signed Trey Henderson, right? And you did the physical of Max Crosby, and there was no Trey Henderson out there for you to fall back on, what was the Ravens going to do? Would they have passed him and still gone through with the trade? Or would they have moved on? And who would have been that second guy to fall back on, given the fact that almost everybody else was committed elsewhere? Nobody has answered that question for me yet.
I don't think it's a straight answer. You can say they would have gotten Bradley Chubb before Buffalo. You can say they would have gone in the draft. You can say they would have tried to trade with someone else. So
do you think
they would have had options?
Will come back?
I think it was on the table. But he signed yesterday, right?
Yeah, he signed yesterday.
Okay. Earlier one of his best seasons under your head coach.
Under Minter. Yeah. I think he was a possibility. And then he was cheap. He's technically cheaper than Hendrickson, technically. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the guarantee money is, but
all right, let's look at the receiver because there's been some receiver moves that's happened. What y'all think about the Colts giving Alec Pierce all that money? Nobody?
I didn't think he was. I didn't think he was good enough, but
he's not.
Okay,
he's not.
And Michael Pittman going to Pittsburgh to play alongside.
I like that for Pittsburgh. Yeah,
I think that's a hell of a move
if they get a quarterback.
I mean, they still banking on Aaron Rodgers for some reason.
I
would go get Kirk Cousins. Why not?
I thought him and McCarthy didn't have a good relationship towards the end.
I don't remember that being the case. I thought it was an issue about massage tables. I remember about having massage tables in the locker room and, McCarthy being a diva or something like that. But I can't remember if that was like, A-Rod flourished in his offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't recall that being a major sticking point, but time can heal wounds too. And familiarity sometimes is your best option. You know what I mean? But like you say, we already talked about Mike Evans. That was a good splash move. Romeo Doubs going to the Patriots. I think that's a sneaky pickup by the Patriots because Doubs was pretty damn consistent when he was healthy. I know he wore that big ass Guardian cap, but after he wore that cap, he didn't have no more concussions. He played great down the stretch, and that's going to be a big loss for the Green Bay Packers. I think. What do you think, Justin?
A loss, yes. Maybe not. Maybe they use Matthew Golden in year 2 the way they should, so he can match his production. And I think that this is a good replacement for Stephon Diggs for the Patriots. So I think both, one person leaves, the rookie can step up, and the other person can replace the person that kept them in the news. So I think it's a win-win for both.
Any other big free agents, Calvin, that you wanted to highlight?
Where do y'all think Brandon Ayuk ends up?
Washington, if he's still getting guaranteed money from the San Francisco 49ers.
Why Washington though?
That's
they need another. They need another receiver.
He cool with Jaden Daniels.
He's very close with Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Like uncomfortably close.
Wan'Dale Robinson got some money to go to Tennessee.
Yeah, got overpaid. When you need weapons and you got a young quarterback, you're overpaid. But you got a high draft pick. I'd rather go get someone in the draft and try to go get overpaid for Mike Evans, something like that, and have him teach the young guy how to play receiver. Something like that would be a move I think Tennessee should have made. But I don't know about just overpaying for a specialty slot guy and hoping he makes your quarterback better. It doesn't seem like it's something that is really positive for a young quarterback.
I was stunned that Pittsburgh let Kenneth Gainwell get out the building, but I believe he signed with Tampa Bay. Gainwell was like one of their number one weapons last year. I mean,
he ended up statistically their best number one weapon towards the end of the season.
Yes, so that's a hell of a pickup.
Both y'all running backs still signed.
Bucky so he's Irvin and Sean, what's the name? Tucker.
You talking about Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Bucky's still there, and he's definitely signed off his rookie joint. I think we just re-signed Sean Tucker, if I'm not mistaken, too. So that's our three backs.
Rashad
White is gone.
Yeah, he's okay.
Okay.
He was going 2 days after the goddamn end of the season.
I think that Gainwell pickup is very sneaky.
Very good.
So Bucky's starting.
Sneaky.
But yeah, Bucky's definitely starting. He started last year. But like let's just say if this is fantasy, I'm not putting a lot of stock into Bucky Irvin in the high draft pick because Kenneth Gainwell
third down back.
He's going to take a lot of production away from Bucky. But for real life, this is great. This is a great situation. You know what else is a great situation? The Super Bowl damn MVP going to Kansas City. That is a nice pickup for them. They needed a bona fide running back. They
got nothing else, but
he was consistent, man.
But they got problems on offense, in my opinion. Like what's going to happen with Rasheed?
You need to run the football.
You needed to run the football.
But okay, around him, like Rasheed Rice, don't know what's going to happen to him. Hollywood's gone. Xavier Worthy is up and down.
They re-signed Todd Thornton, so that was their deep threat. And then you got Xavier
because Pacheco went somewhere like Minnesota.
He went to Detroit, which is good because
backing up.
Montgomery wanted too much money and too many carries.
And he went
to Houston.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So Gibbs can be Gibbs, and Checo can take 1,000 steps to get 2 yards. Yeah, that's about right.
It's interesting. I wonder if Njoku, because I know he's leaving Cleveland, would the Ravens bring him in? He's out there. You got Njoku out there. That's a tight end. K. Otten. I think he went back to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, K went.
He went back to Tampa Bay. So as far as like tight ends, I don't really think.
Njoku is. I can't picture who's starting in Washington because I know they were in on Likely for a little bit. So I don't know if he wants to be a second tight end.
I mean, at the end of the day, he's younger than Andrews. Could he work his way into a starting role? Yeah. You know what I mean? Andrews, it's a 2 tight end system. That's what I mean. Like, you got to match. If you're gonna throw the baby with the bathwater out, go out and make some, like Deebo Samuel. I know he's not what he used to be. He a free agent. Maybe go out and get him. Throw him. Let Zay. You know what I mean? Don't necessarily have to always be in a slot. He can play outside. Zay can do some different things. Debo can get you some tough yards. And with the offense,
trick plays.
Yeah, I mean, let him do the jet sweeps instead of Zay. And Zay was fumbling too damn much for me. You know what I mean? Like, let Debo do that kind of stuff. So he out there. He free. I just think if you got a little bit of money, you got to be creative with it. And it's some players out there that the Ravens should be in the market for. Like I said, I like Rico Dowdy going to the Steelers. I think he showed flashes last year, especially against the Cowboys. But he had some other good games as well. It'll be interesting to watch that. But yeah, it's still a lot of people out there. We're only on the first day technically of free agency, and I'm expecting some other people to come free because people get cut in June. You got draft day stuff. All kinds of moves can happen around then. I'm very interested. You got your veteran receivers who don't never get signed till like later. They're gonna be holding on. Diggs got some stuff. Will somebody take a chance on him? Go ahead.
What you think about your boy to Atlanta? When you talk about Tua,
I like him as a backup. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I thought he was gonna be starting the way whatchamacallit be playing.
I mean, that's the point. He a good backup because the way Penix play, he gonna either get hurt or he gonna get benched. Like it is what it is. Like
it's gonna be a carousel getting hurt and starting, getting hurt and starting.
Man,
yeah,
y'all keep saying it. When's the last time Tua missed a game for injury? Be honest. No, it wasn't. He didn't miss no game.
The time he was throwing gang signs up on the field.
That was 2 years ago.
He always one hit away from doing it again. He's always one hit away from doing it again.
Tua had a clean year. He didn't finish the year because the team was
because he got benched.
No, they were done with him. I mean, they put that rookie in. They wanted to see what they had. Mike McDonald, and he didn't have no more. But yeah, they were moving on. But Tua played the whole year, and that team was competitive. I think people forget Miami lost a lot of pieces last year, and they were very competitive. I mean, a lot of that can be attributed to run game and defense, but Tua wasn't bad. They lost Tyreek. They lost Tyreek early. Let's not act like he was at full strength.
He was like week 4 or 5. It was early.
Yeah, that's early.
Where he going to end up? I forgot he a free agent.
Yeah, he a free agent. Hmm. Is he going back to Kansas City?
They got to see him run first. They got to see him run. You know,
I think he's gonna go cheap.
He broke a lot of. He effed his leg up. You got to see it.
You know, the Saints is interesting. I like Tyler Shuck. I thought he played well last year. I thought they had some good wins to finish up the season. They go out and get Travis Etienne. We don't know what's going to happen with Kamara. Are they going to put him into a backup role? Is he getting released? I haven't heard any updates on that.
Well, speaking of that, I like Rico for the Steelers.
Yeah,
that's not a bad pickup. He'll probably take Jalen's spot so that I can see him starting.
Yeah. Malik Willis, new quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. What y'all think about that? He looked good against the Ravens.
We'll probably turn down the Jets. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the quarterback class is so good in 27. Why do I want to do anything that kind of jeopardizes me getting that class? And if you get Malik,
you don't think he's nice though?
I think he's good enough. What do
you mean? I mean, is he good enough to keep him out to be better than the Jets? Yes, but I don't think they make the playoffs with him.
I think you could build with him. What's wrong with him? He's mobile. He got a lightning arm. Like every time he come in, he plays well.
But now we'll see. Now you got scheme for him. You get the scheme for him.
I think he did the right thing. He stayed away from the Jets and chose a different organization. Smart man.
Yeah. But again, that's some of the early moves in free agency. I think the trades kind of took people by surprise. But again, it's the NFL, man. Not for long is what it stands for.
Go get some money.
They talking about adding a primetime game the night before Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense.
It would be. I think what somebody said it would be like 8 or 9 straight days of football, including college.
Okay, college, yeah. I mean,
that's a Wednesday night though. That mess up your whole week if you're a player.
Well, you should get a bye before that. I always thought that.
Either you're gonna have a bye or you're playing Saturday. One or two.
I think you should either play Thursday.
Well, I thought the Thursday, the weekly Thursday games. You could play that previous Thursday.
You can play that Thursday.
Yeah,
I like the bye thing though because it's 4 teams usually that's on the bye. Yeah. So 2 of those 4 teams.
No, but you're still going to have teams playing on Thanksgiving as well. So those teams that you're talking about that's on Thanksgiving and then you're going to have a game on Black Friday too. So you're going to have like 5 games on those 3 days in total.
And they still talking about adding another game, 18 weeks.
Yeah.
And next year the Super Bowl is actually on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Which has never been that late. That's crazy, man.
Now, I do think from a viewing perspective, they could do some things because they have Disney Plus and all the ESPNs, so you could do like sidelines, kind of like they do with the college football game. So I'm interested in seeing. I'm interested in seeing how they do it from a viewing angle. So it should be because it's in
LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ESPN already there. Yeah. They doing a whole year.
They already doing it.
Coverage. It's crazy. But I'm just saying from a Valentine's Day weekend, President's Day weekend, belongs to the NBA. That is All-Star Weekend. That is, dunk contest. That is, and the NFL just came in and like, no, we got it now. Like the Super Bowl used to be in January. You know what I mean? Like, NFL is king, man.
We don't care.
They don't care. They don't care. But any other football news before we move on to the NBA? No. All right. Let's get into some NBA. So we start off the show talking about what Bam Adebayo did last night, surpassing Kobe Bryant, second all-time highest scoring NBA game in history. Shout out to him. A lot of people have been frustrated with that, just out of love for Kobe Bryant mostly and not wanting to see him pass by. But other news last night, it was a big game between the Boston Celtics and the San Antonio Spurs. And I had a hell of a ticket in, man. And all I needed was Jaylen Brown to get 20 points. And this motherfucker gets tossed out the game with like 8 points, I think he had, maybe 5. I gotta look at the ticket. Cost me a lot of money. Did y'all see that bull crap? That man is in the running for the MVP. He's like right there. That was kind of pathetic. But on the court, since we've last spoken, Jason Tatum has returned. And I don't know, guys. I think they're going to be fine. I think Boston is going to be fine. That felt like a preview of something. That felt like we might see these two teams again type of game. Like, I think Boston, give Tatum a couple more weeks. He's gonna be averaging 27 again. Like, I think he's back. Like, I don't see no rust. I don't see no issue cutting. I ain't see nothing. He just playing his game again. Calvin, what's your thoughts?
Look, and as much as they said he wasn't on minutes restriction, he only played like 27, 28 minutes. So if you give him another 10 minutes, they only lost by 9. And Jaylen Brown played 15. So, and this is for Tatum, this is a whole new team compared to last year. There's no Horford, no Porzingis, no Drew Holiday. He's getting accustomed to all these new guys, all these young guys. They may be okay. Like I was kind of on the fence about him coming back, but he looks fine. He's playing well. I mean, it's only been a week, but he's kind of getting that rhythm. And if he gets dangerous, if he gets confidence on that Achilles going to the playoffs, and all of a sudden you have a 1-2 punch, and it's not, and I think with the growth of Brown as well, you kind of rely on him as to be that number one option when you need it, and Tatum kind of come along a little bit slowly. They'll be interesting. They'll make some noise in the East. Like, they may not get the number 1 seed, they may not catch Detroit, but they will make some noise in the playoffs, and they'll probably be in the Eastern Conference Finals again. And this is just on the strength of Jaylen Brown. And then you add Tatum and you add him healthier, and then you add all these young guys. Yeah, I still like Cleveland too, but Boston's showing me something. They are showing me something.
I think offensively, we're not worried about it. He's definitely maybe just a little bit 3 happy. And that's to be
understood. He's been like that, though.
That's him.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My thing is defense. I think that especially when they made their run to the finals and actually won it, his ability to guard the big and switch when needed and things like that was at an all-time high for him. So that's what I'm looking at, and he's still kind of playing zone defense and stuff. Like, he ain't getting his bag in his chair, as they say. So we're still waiting on that, and I will wait on that. That's the thing I need to see. It's all good when you can put up points, but that's just shooting. Can you actively play defense, because they don't really have like it was a partnership between him and JB when it came to defense, and then Derek White was doing this thing on the outside, and then he had Holiday too. So they don't have the Holiday anymore. White is just getting a little bit more up there in age and things. So it's on him. It's on Tatum and Brown to be the defensive juggernauts that they have to be together in order to definitely make a run for any type of conference finals or not, because they didn't make the conference finals last year. So they gotta do some things in order to get back to where they want to be. But we'll see. But so far, so good for Tatum. Don't rush it. Take it slow. Despite what I just said, and we'll see how you are in the playoffs. But definitely great signs moving forward.
Yeah, 100%. And it's just, a testament to modern medicine and how things come. This is not something that people come back from this quick. And that just tell you, 10 years ago, this doesn't happen. So shout out to him, man. I mean, I wish nothing but the best for players when they go through these type of injuries and able to bounce back. Another story from that same game is what's happening with the San Antonio Spurs. Victor Wembanyama, man, I know before the season started, Justin, you said that Wemby was coming and that he was your MVP and that he would win. You said it, but then you backed away.
No, I did. What I go for?
You said the boy from Minnesota. What's his name?
I recently said that based off the fact that if he can, the amount of games being played, that was the caveat. That's not even offensive about it. That's he could get injured to the point where as though I had to adjust for that. With no injury, and he plays these games out, he is the MVP and defensive MVP, one of the best.
Who's your MVP right now
of all time? It's still, to me, it's Wemby.
Yes. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I still got Shea. I do.
Now let me say this real quick. This last week and a half of Shea putting up these buzzer beaters and things like that.
You've been hearing too much.
That's the stuff that y'all must have forgot. We needed that to make sure that you
I was out for a little bit. Yeah.
I wanted to give him his just due.
Yeah,
bro, you've been balling, my guy. You got that.
Yeah, and likewise, Cade kind of fell off the last since All-Star break. So
yes, Cade, man, Lord help, what? Jeez, Detroit as a whole have not been playing like they were. Yeah. You know what I mean? But what's your thoughts on the Spurs, Calvin?
Look, they're that team that's the thorn in OKC's side, and if they can match up with them, feel like they have a very good chance of winning it. But when you have Wemby and you have that young talent that just plays hard all night, and you have a defensive anchor on your team like Wemby who can score from 3-point lines, been getting in the paint recently as well. They're a hard team to beat. I mean, they just put up like 150 on the Rockets the other night. Well, maybe it was the game. It was the game before the Celtics, maybe. But they put up like 150 on them. They're scoring 130, and they're giving us. No. They put up one.
KD.
Yeah, but it was the other night though. I forgot what day it was. Yeah, but they're scoring 130, 140 a night like it's nothing. Like they just ran off like a lot of wins against great teams. They beat the Knicks this month. I think they beat the Knicks
the only team to beat them, right?
Knicks the only team to beat them. Yes. They beat the 76ers, they beat the Spurs, they beat the Rockets, the Celtics. Like they just go on this run, and it's Wemby and everyone else just stepping up when they need to.
Yeah, I honestly, I still think he needs to rebound the basketball more, man. I just think
he should be averaging more than 12. In my opinion.
I mean, in some games,
that's sad to say.
I'm sorry, 12 is like terrible for him. Like, oh my god.
No, but I mean,
like, too big, man.
It's just a double that he's averaging.
He should be averaging easy 15. Like
he floats away.
That's the expectation, John. I want y'all to understand that.
He's the best.
The expectation is very lofty for someone that's averaging 12 rebounds. Now, to me, that's a little personal because it's a cat argument. Well, Cat need to do this. He need to be more aggressive. And he did it. He's averaging like 12, 13 rebounds a game.
It's not even him being more aggressive. It's just him being there. Like his wingspan, he should be able to grab rebounds from anywhere. That's all I'm saying. It should be a couple rebounds that he just grabs just by being there. Like
he's sharing the wealth.
He shoot a lot of threes, man. I ain't taking nothing away from a man shooting too many damn threes.
But then I'll say it specifically. He needs to get more offensive rebounds. That's because you're floating out on a 3-point perimeter so much. Now you only get like 1 or 2 per game.
I agree. And that's part of the problem that I have. And I love him. That's my guy. But yeah, the rebounding.
Fox is fitting in better than I thought too, so I'll give him credit.
He's facilitating well. You know what I mean? Not the biggest scorer, nothing like that. And I don't think they always need him to because Castle and Vasil, they active, man. So Harper, like they get contributions from everybody, and they deep and defensively, man, they longest like pause, but they got wingspan is all over the place. You heard me, but I just think they do a great job and they match up well with the best teams, and I think they're gonna be a problem. But speaking of, what do y'all think about the Los Angeles Lakers right now? Because I really almost feel like it's like a requirement to talk about them, but I don't feel a need to talk about them. It's like, are they relevant? Like, really? Like, seriously? Like, what are they any threat in the playoffs? Calvin, I know you're the resident Lakers fan.
Is this with or without LeBron?
Whatever.
Because they play better without LeBron recently. And then when it's the two-man show, when it's easier to share the ball between Luka and between Reeves, and you get a little bit of ball movement, and all of a sudden DeAndre Ayton touches the ball a little bit more. He's a little bit more active. He decides to get a couple more rebounds. So that team, that team can make some noise. That team can make the second round of the playoffs. That team can have Luka be the best player on the court and dominate a playoff series against a team that's a better seeded team. So they can make noise. The defense will always be there. Will always be their Achilles heel. You know, Luka in a bad shooting night complaining to the refs and he's not in it will always be their Achilles heel. But they play better without LeBron right now. So maybe he needs to be their sixth man for the rest of the year and just focus on Reeves and focus on Luka. It won't happen. But that's when they play their best ball. And that's why you got to talk about him.
Okay. So I guess the question is, who takes LeBron's minutes when he's not there? It looks like Roy might have got a little minute uptick. Marcus Smart's playing a little bit more. Luke Kennard coming off the bench. So maybe you're getting better quality defensive players in a sense to come up and sell for him, which makes your team play a little bit better. But when you have all three, yeah, man, you got to open joint to the pin. See me at the cup. So that's definitely a problem.
Yeah. Let's speak about your team, Justin. What's your thoughts currently? What's going on with the Knicks?
Right now, we lose to the freaking Jazz.
Yeah, it was kind of a little gap ahead.
And they're trying to lose.
I put a ticket in.
You know, we just lost to the Clippers. We catching some L's, and it's uncharacteristic of us right now. Unfortunately,
hey, Kawhi Leonard is balling. Y'all earned that one.
That's what I asked. Yeah, so I think the butt of everybody's jokes in the last couple of games has been Mikal Bridges. He's just not been living up to that contract that we got him for. You're always going to hit 5 first rounds, first rounds in a sense. And I keep telling people hold off because you wasn't saying that when we beat Boston and got him up out of there, and he was making key defensive plays. That's what we brought him in for. Him and OG together to go against their duo. So I just say hold off. But when you go a whole game and you go over, that's it's hard. It's tough to defend. So I just need him to get a little bit better, and that's up to Mike Brown. Mike Brown got to give him better situations, and he got to stagger the offense. It might be time for him to come off the bench and see how we do certain things. You got to mix some things up, but we can't have this losing thing going into the playoffs. So he got some work cut out for him, and we worried, it's just we're gonna be in the top 4. And that's just where we're gonna be at. We see whenever we get there.
You got y'all making the conference finals?
I got us winning the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I like the confidence.
Realistically, I think there's been enough big of a sample size at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Is this team better than it was under Tom Thibodeau?
We will find out in the playoffs, and that's just what it is. Because you can see the fatigue level. Like if this is a game, you can see that ball just is getting closer to the red with every playoff series. They just starting off at 75%. Now it's 60%. And that's what Mike Brown was supposed to be able to fix. But if you're asking me, did the conference final team of last year can they go back to the conference finals and then win it? Yeah. What else am I supposed to say? This is not a homer at all. It's just that's the next step for us. We went to the second round. We went to the conference finals. We should be going to the finals this year. Just as simple as that.
I'm just asking you from a.
And that's what I'm telling you. We have to find out in the playoffs. Okay. The regular season is up and down. He's still doing what he needs to do. But you're telling me, can JB be like, have energy by the third round? We'll see. We will see. Okay. He didn't have it last year. That's the problem.
Interesting.
Indiana was targeting him, but
Yeah.
Everybody was. Everybody. You got to think just real quick. In that playoff run last year, you had the Thompson boys from Detroit, the Thompson brother, play him the full court the entire series, and then you went from him, Asar, and then you went from him to Jalen Brown from the Celtics, full court the entire series, and then you got them boys out of Indiana that was doing the same thing. He was winded, and we didn't have nobody else to help, and that's the problem. So, do we have guards? Yes. Do we have playmakers? Yes. Do we have ability for JB not to have the ball the entire time? Yes. We will find out when we get to the playoffs. Unfortunately, it's a playoff type of answer.
Okay. I mean, I love the answer. I'm not doubting that. I'm just saying from we almost there. I mean, this is March. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got about a good month left.
Weeks. You know what I mean? We there. This is the time where teams need to be. You don't find your identity in March. You know your identity in March. So we want to find out.
Yeah, when in doubt, get the ball to JB and get out the way. I just don't like it. I just don't like it.
That's been y'all MO since he's been there. So
that's the problem.
Calvin, how about the Orlando Magic? I know that you were very high on them. Do you feel
still playing basketball?
Do you think this team is rounding out to be what you thought they would be?
They just beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. No, not even close. I'm worried about Paolo. There seemed to be, some animosity with his coach, which I believe is not Jock Vaughn. I'll figure out in a minute. But there seems to be some animosity there, and Jamal Mosley, that's who it is. It seems to be some back and forth there. You have your young superstar, and then the other thing, he's kind of hit a plateau and he hasn't gotten better. And I've expected Paolo to continue to get better, continue to work on his outside shot, continue to work on his ball handling, his creativity. And he just hasn't eclipsed that point. He's kind of hit that stagnant period, and he hasn't found a way to punch through. And I expected growth in his game, and it just hasn't seen it. You would expect that with the Desmond Bane, with someone who's going to be giving more effort on defense, someone that can hit that corner three, but it just hasn't come together yet, and that's what worries me. I don't expect you to find it in the playoffs. You have to find it prior to the playoffs and carry that momentum into the playoffs. So they've been disappointed, in my opinion. They did have a good win tonight against Cleveland, who I think is a pretty good team, especially with the James Harden trade. But Orlando has not lived up to my expectations, and I just think it's all on Paolo at this point.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. You see Detroit and what they're doing, and Cade was just 1 year ahead of him. They both number one overall picks. You know what I'm saying? So when you see the development of Cade, and it's kind of like you can see the progression, and you can see him, not going to the playoffs, having one of the worst teams in the league to not going to the playoffs, to actually going to the playoffs, to now number one seed. You could definitely see a incline. And then Paolo was like, skirt. he was doing okay, and then he definitely plateaued, in which, so maybe it could be I don't think they trade him, but yes,
first I think that's on the table.
I heard they was getting rid of one of the Wagner boys before they get rid of him. So we'll see.
Okay.
I think the pickup of like I said when it happened, they went out and got Bane, and it's not a good fit. Like, it's just not. I think Black or Suggs probably could be, you know what I mean, have a better role on that team if not for Ball Hawk Bane taking up too much. Like, he takes the air out of the basketball, and I don't think it allows Paolo to flourish like he was able to do previously. It's just not a good fit. It's really not a good fit. I thought Bane, when he played in Memphis with Ja, Ja wasn't necessarily a guy who needed to score all the time, so that worked. Bane could go off. And when Ja wasn't on the floor, Bane could run the offense and really just jack up as many shots as he wanted to. That don't work in Orlando. When you got so many guys you got a guy who's supposed to be the guy, and he needs the ball, and he needs to be featured. And it's just not a good fit, man. And what is happening is it's not like Bane is getting the ball and he's scoring at a high clip. He's shooting a terrible percentage, and it's taking the air out of the basketball. Is no
like 30% from the field or something like that.
It's terrible, man. Yeah. And I said it. I said, this is not a good fit. He's undersized for that position. He can't play defense, so he ain't stopping nobody. It's just not a good fit, man. And what is he? What is Bane? Is he a point guard? Is he a shooter? What is he?
Supposed to be a two. This was the move that they made that they thought would put them over the top, and maybe you just had a misjudge of how he would fit with you. Maybe you were a year too early, but now you're stuck with this team for the most part.
Yeah, I think they pretty, like you say, they moved one of the Wagner boys. Does that solve anything? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think you move Bane, but it is what it is.
But then his contract just kick in too. I think.
So did they give him an extension?
He getting paid.
No, he got an extension from Memphis, but so maybe it's the second year.
Okay, yeah, that sucks. But yeah, Cleveland lost tonight, but I think overall, Cleveland, I think they're coming into their own. We talked about them last week. We'll see how that goes. Philly, Maxey has an injury right now.
Yeah.
Joel's out, so that momentum has kind of been suppressed. I do wonder if they're able to turn it back on in time for the playoffs. They'd definitely probably be in the play-in at this point. Other than that,
is he supposed to be back before the playoffs?
I think he had a hand issue?
It was something in one of his fingers.
Yeah, something with his hand.
Yeah. It wasn't. It was like a tendon because not broken or nothing, but yeah.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. But other than that, Houston, they're just one of those teams, man. I thought they started off pretty well early in the year, but it's something missing.
They need a point guard. Like it's
we said that from the beginning of the
year. Yeah, but their offense is too KG bails out, and KG bails you out by getting buckets, but it's not moving the offense. And then you have a point guard in Amen Thompson that doesn't want to shoot because he doesn't have any faith in the shot. So there's no floor spacing. Well, yeah, but then there's no floor spacing. So their offense is just out of whack. I don't even know how Coach Van Fleet is coming back, or if he's coming back. But they need a point guard, and they probably should have tried to get one before the trade deadline.
And it's crazy because a lot of just regular floor general point guards they could have got there. You don't necessarily need that scoring, but somebody to run the offense. So I was shocked that they didn't at least try to make a move.
See, the thing about Houston, they got a lot of finishers. Like a lot. It's not like the Boston Celtics, where let's say you got JB and JT, where they can create offenses on their own and everything like that. They Sengun, he can't. So you can't get the ball to Sengun in 3-point line and just tell him to do what he need to do. No, he got to post up a little bit and stuff like that. KD is not the same. He's not 10 years ago, KD. And like I said, the Thompson boy, he need to be in pick and roll and running to the rim. That's what he need to do, and he just uses athleticism there. But like I said, when you don't have a point guard, they're probably the only team that kind of needed a more traditional point guard. Yeah. They never got it. Oh, well.
Yeah. That's why teams like OKC are so good. They got point guard off the bench that could be a starter on most teams. You know what I mean? Just to run the offense. Like, dang. Anyway, let's move on to some spring training. Baseball. The Orioles, the World Baseball Classic has been going on. I know, Calvin, before we came on the air, we were talking about it briefly. Tell the people about the scenario that the USA team found themselves in after the events of last night.
So they lost to Italy last night. So if Italy won, then the Team USA would make the semifinals. If Mexico won, they had to score 5 or less runs in order for Mexico to advance and USA to be eliminated. So it's a win and go. It's win and total runs scored. But Italy won the ball game, so it didn't even come into play with any of the extra factors.
So what have y'all been liking from the World Baseball Classic? You've been checking it out. I know they had games on Tubi. They had games like it's been all over the place, man. This streaming stuff is kind of annoying. But what y'all think?
I personally enjoyed the highlights. I haven't been able to sit down and watch the game, but the highlights is tremendous. Like, I know they had the young boy going against the USA maybe about a week ago, and he was putting in stats. I've been watching Manny Machado, making me wish he was still on the Baltimore Orioles. Some of the plays he's making. Gunnar Henderson, shout out to Homegrown. He's definitely putting forth the work needed. Bobby Witt making tremendous plays defensively and things like that. So we're not getting the results that we want. Of course, we want to be number one and blow everybody out. But I'm just saying, this is just like I wish I had the time to sit down and watch a game. But to see the highlights of it, it's like, they playing for real, and that's one thing you're gonna get out of the World Baseball Classic. These teams, they play for real. They know what's at stake. They know that the world's watching them. And I'm not saying it's Olympic baseball or nothing like that, but it's the next best thing. And you just don't want to put on embarrassment for your country. So shout out to the fact that we still alive. Let's just go with that. Aaron Judge, I need more out of you.
It is pretty much Olympic baseball, right? Like
it's a substitute, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, the Olympics and baseball not in the Olympics, so this is like
it's their version of it. Then,
yeah. So the pride comes into place, and USA is hated right now in most of the world. So it is interesting having your nationality called into question. Are you being patriotic by supporting Team USA? Given the fact that the current administration and everything that's been happening with the war and, the Mexico with deporting people and, USA is really not the most liked country amongst the world. But things like this, we saw it a couple months ago with, the hockey team and USA winning and
Olympics.
People really got behind that. And then this. Like that kind of brings your patriotism and what line you draw into question. What do you think about people who are having a hard time, just rooting for, what this country kind of is standing for in many ways right now, Calvin?
I mean, that's fair based off what's going on currently in the world, like you were saying. If you're trying to separate what's going on versus just watching the sport, that's your perspective. Like I never really got into hockey or anything like that during the Olympics, so it didn't impact, and I didn't even realize they were like watch parties for the gold medal games and things like that at 7:00 in the morning. I didn't even know that was a thing until you actually see it. But from the World Baseball Classic perspective, just because I have watched the majority of the U.S. games, it's just to kind of see the guys I'm familiar with. Is seeing Gunnar Henderson, look at him, seeing him healthy or healthier than he was coming into last season, seeing him be an actual star on this team amongst stars when he plays. Because I don't understand why he doesn't start. That's a whole nother conversation. But from my perspective, it's just to look at the guys that I know and not and see if they're doing well. Because even still, you can tell the pride that the Mexican team and the Japanese team has in winning this over even the United States team, because I don't want to say because it's not the Olympics or because it's not tied to an actual championship, but and even guys have a perspective of, hey, I just don't want to get hurt prior to my season, prior to me getting a new contract. So all those things tie into it, but just from that perspective, it is what it is, and if you can enjoy it outside of what else is going on, then that's on you.
What do you think, Justin?
I don't mind you asking that question because that's a question that needs to be asked. But at the end of the day, these other nations can be having cartel and crime and all these other things.
That's true.
Yeah, try to get them not to support their team. That's what I'm saying? Like that's all. That's all.
Say something bad about them. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A certain way. They treat minorities.
It's homegrown first, and then everything else that's on top of it is just surface level at the end of the day. Especially where we live at, the fact that it's only a matter of time before we get someone else in there. You know what I'm saying? It's always a revolving door for us. Some of these other countries got goddamn dictatorships and things like that where they're not going until the dude die. So the other places got a little bit more issues than us here. Yeah. We just got to stall out 2 more years and somebody else is going to be up in there. And then we'll see what's going on after that. So it's kind of hard to tell somebody, don't worry about any type of thing that you like American-based because, well, technically you're not supposed to be here. Well, goddamn, we here now. We've been here for over 400 years. This us too,
that
So that's just kind of how I feel. So yeah, just tell the other countries the same damn thing. Yeah. Just because y'all got issues over there and it's war torn, don't support your team. They might cut your throat for telling them that. That's all I'm saying.
I tend to agree with that. We live here. It is what it is. That don't mean we agree with everything that happens here, but we live here. We support the players who we are cool. You know what I mean? Like even Manny Machado, he not representing Team USA, but I love Manny Machado. You know what I mean? That would mean I know anything about what country or that he's from or the inner workings of everything that happens there. But you support the players who you have an affinity for. And I always have agreed with that. Even, look, we remember growing up seeing the black Olympic athletes putting the fists up in the air at the, Tommy, what was it, Tommy, oh man, he put the fists up at the
Tommy Strong.
Yeah. No. No,
you about to, that's right.
You thought about it too long.
Like, no, that's not his. You was agreeing.
No, I said no.
That ain't it.
I said
but
no.
Yeah, it just
like Thomas Strong.
That was a demonstration of rebellion. You know what I mean? Like, you can live someplace, raise your family and not agree with everything that happens with the people in power. So I
it was Tommy Smith, by the way, just so we can
Tommy Smith. Yeah.
Tommy Smith and my man John Carlos.
Lose our card
I was just joking. I was just joking.
No, you
I just wanted to throw that out there. Shout out to
Googled
Tommy Strong.
You were definitely serious about Thomas Strong. I'm like, wait. That ain't it.
The screen.
I know damn well who I said now. GTD, baby.
You said it with confidence, though.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. That's just always something to keep in mind. But baseball is coming around. Opening day is right around the corner. Have y'all been checking out any spring training ball? Anybody been looking all right? What have y'all been seeing? I know the baseball classic is taking away certain players, but what have you been keeping your eye on? Justin, have you seen anything, heard any news coming out of the camp, anything of that nature?
I'll double check with Cal on this one, but I haven't seen any injuries or anything like that. That's kind of
nothing
in the off season. That's all you kind of looking out for is spring training, right? So we it's hard to see what they're doing and anything like that. To me, that they're just putting forth a good effort. Just don't get hurt. Just don't get hurt until opening day. Let's see what happens after the season actually starts. But unlike football where preseason, you can see this guy and is this guy going to play and things like that. You don't necessarily get that kind of vibe too much from baseball. You just want to see your guys doing well. Like Kobe Mayo is doing well at third base. You know what I'm saying? He's not regressing. And that's it's little stuff like that you kind of pay attention to and to see how we act as we get towards the close to beginning of the season.
Yeah, same. Like no new injuries. Got to see Ron O'Hearn play with Pittsburgh today, former O. Basayo wasn't out for too long. Taylor Ward's been playing well. And even Blaze Alexander had a good play at third base today. So it's good just to be able to see who can back up Gunnar and who's going to play third base for that team, since we know Jordan Westburg's going to be out for at least half the season. So, but like you said, no news is good news. They're getting the pitcher staff, or they have 6 pitchers for that 5-man rotation, but I believe they have a number of off days in April, so they're kind of just trying to figure out which 5 they want to get until they actually get into the heart of the schedule when they're playing basically every day for about 4 or 5 weeks. So at this time, we said no news is good news, and the offense is just kind of rounding the form. And like I said, with Basayo coming back as well, kind of made you feel at ease as well. So the only major injury you still have is Jordan Westburg, and Jackson Holliday will be back hopefully shortly after this start of the season as well. But no news is good news at this point. They had their scares early on. Hopefully Gunnar gets back here early next week and rejoins the team, and he's ready to go for the regular season as well.
That's great to hear. Let's move on to some pro wrestling to close out the show. WrestleMania is right around the corner, and Cody Rhodes was able to about 6 weeks away, about 5 weeks now. Cody Rhodes was able to recapture the WWE Championship, so he will now defend it at WrestleMania against Randy Orton. That is the proposed plan. And a lot of people have had some, disgruntled thoughts on that. I look at it this way. At the end of the day, they made a decision to throw a wrinkle into the plan and give Drew McIntyre a little run. I think they could have went a little further with it, maybe made it a multi-man match. But they decided they didn't want to go all multi-man this year. They're going to do singles matches for the main titles and kind of make it more of the old school booking. I see it both ways. There's a story to be told between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, for sure. Clearly, there's a story being told between Roman and Punk. Those are your two big matches for Mania. The question is, how can you sustain it for the next 6 weeks, and what will develop? It'll be interesting to watch. We'll see how it goes. Justin, I'm going to throw it to you first. I know you hate Cody Rhodes with a passion. What are your thoughts on the booking heading into Mania?
It got out today that this is mainly Cody's decision to get the belt back heading into this situation. There you go. And him and Randy, it's just it's two things. One, they just wrestled not too long ago, and there was no hoopla. There was nothing around that. So to see them wrestle again for the main event for one of the main events for WrestleMania is like, where's the story?
There's a story you can tell.
No, they have history. Where's the story? That to me, that's two different things. Right now, you can say Roman and Punk had history. No, they're telling a story right now, and it can develop without one of them being there. Shout out to the Usos. That was a very good segment from the Usos. With CM Punk this past Monday. So it's like, okay, once SmackDown, that's it. We're gonna start the stories Friday. They have to then sell the story. You can't just say like, yo, yeah, you was in Legacy and then I was doing this and I was doing this and you was my young boy, like, okay, all right, we get it. We got it. We know the history. You got to make it entertaining. And what Punk and Roman is doing is making their history entertaining to the point where that's almost must-see TV when we see that. Matter of fact, they are penciled into the final thing on Raw. That's pretty damn good. No match, no nothing, just them talking. So they have to match that. The issue is they don't have the mic skills like Roman and Punk. So now it's like, okay, we got a lesser mic ability, and then we're gonna have to hear them go back and forth after they spent the last goddamn 2 years saying that they love each other. I respect you, I love you, I care for you. Shout out to CJ. So it's like, all right, you got to get past all of that to get to sell the story. I don't think they're going to perform it that well. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's going to sell like that because one of them got to be a heel. There's no heel.
There's no heel.
It's a love fest. what are we watching here? And that's going to be the problem.
So it's true that Cody only dropped the belt to draw more attention for Royal Rumble and Elimination Chamber.
No.
And no, he had to drop the belt to Drew because it makes Drew look legit. If Drew would have lost the 3 stages of hell, it'd have been Drew would have been just trash. He would have been just trash. So they had to make that. When you have a rival, he got to win something. He got to win something. The issue is, I think they should have pulled it at WrestlePalooza. So they should have did it a little bit earlier, so that he could have this reign, and then they could have dropped it whenever. But he would have had pretty much instead of 56 days, it could have been
6-7 months.
6-7 months. That's solid. That's a hell of a run.
Well, what happened was there was no WrestlePalooza, if you recall. That was a made-up pay-per-view because they signed the ESPN deal.
Correct.
So ESPN wanted a big kickoff show. So they added another show to the lineup. That wasn't supposed to happen. So because they added a new show, they had to book a title match. That Drew and Cody match wasn't supposed to happen until Survivor Series. If you recall, Jacob Fatu got hurt, right? And had to go out for dental surgery. They put Drew and Cody into the War Games match and didn't have them have the singles match. So they had that match at WrestlePalooza. So that changed the whole timeline of everything. Seth got hurt. So they felt like they needed a title match to sell ESPN subscriptions. They wanted the big match. Roman was already penciled in to face Cody at WrestleMania. And they was like, nobody wants to see that for the third time. We're going to mix it up. Give Drew a short run. Let's they was like, we can't beat Drew again. He wasn't supposed to lose in September. It was supposed to be a one-on-one match, a blow-off match at War Games. It didn't happen. So they said, all right, in January, we're going to do it on TV. Be like a big kickoff for SmackDown. That's why they made it like 3 stages of hell. And Cody was supposed to win. They went to management and was like, look, Drew been a good soldier. He had a good couple years. Had the feud with Punk, the feud with Seth Rollins. We can't keep beating him. You know, he got to have some like credibility. That's why they put the title on him. So it was a shocker. It was something people was talking about. They figured it's not predictable. It's not something people like, oh, Cody just going to win. It's on TV. They did it because they thought it would be for the best for Drew, for the fans, for everybody. But what happened was the plans got already exposed out there to the public because, you know, people leak plans that the match was already penciled in for WrestleMania to be Cody versus Roman. And that Cody and Drew went and pulled rank and was like, we don't want to see that. The people don't want to see it. This was all written in the Wrestling Observer. So once the fans who are smart and on the inside found out about it, now they're picking apart everything. So I'm telling you, I talked to the people, they start changing the plans.
Yeah. They said that the plans are fluid at that point. Yes.
Once you start reacting to people on the internet, that's why your shit don't make sense. If you got a plan, I don't care if it get leaked or not. Unfortunately, shit gets leaked. But you can't change your plan and it becomes nonsensical because now Cody's in the Rumble. Cody loses the Rumble because you can't have Cody win 2 or 3 Rumbles in a row or something like that.
There've been 3 out of 4.
Yeah. Cody's in Elimination Chamber. Common sense say, oh, Cody must be winning. Cody loses to Randy Orton. Why? Because we want to shock people. And Randy hasn't been in a Mania main event in a while. This will get people excited. But who? Now, Justin, you and y'all love Randy. Y'all love, that's great. Randy had nothing to do with nothing. But Cody and Randy.
That's a problem in itself. Well, go ahead.
That's the point. You already had plans laid out for Jacob Fatu, for Drew McIntyre, for Cody Rhodes. Why not just run with it? Because the plan got leaked once again that it's going to be a 3-way at Mania between Cody, Drew. First it was a singles match, and like nobody want to see that again. Then it was like, well, Hell in a Cell. Do a Hell in a Cell match between Drew and Cody Rhodes. That'd be like the blow-off match. We already did 3 stages of Hell. It was no conclusive winner in a steel cage match. Remember, Jacob came in there and it helped Drew win the title. So only logical thing is put a top on top of the cage, make it bigger. Nobody can get in, nobody can get out, and do a Hell in a Cell match at Mania. They've done Hell in a Cell matches at Mania plenty of time. I thought that's what they should have ran with. I don't care if people say we've seen it, Drew and Cody enough. That is the logical booking given the story that you've built.
I think, in my point, like I hear you on that one, right? I was okay for the 4-way because it made it seem like, okay, this match could actually be the best match out of the 2 main events. Once you have Drew, when you have Randy, when you have Fatu, and when you have Cody. I get what people there was also an angle saying that, well, if you split them up, it's easier to have a 6-7 let's say a 7-8 card for that night.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just one extra match. I could care less about that. So when it comes to them, it's like, what are your matches for SummerSlam then? Because I feel like if let's just say they had Drew carry the belt, he could have carried the belt into that 4-way, and whoever they wanted to walk out of that WrestleMania main event, they could have won it then, and then you still could have Randy. Let's say Cody wins. Cody wins that 4-way, Cody versus Randy, because Randy was about to listen to his voices. That can carry yourself into SummerSlam. Then you got Drew and Fatu. Guess what? They also can carry that rivalry into SummerSlam. So I just think that they could have just kept what they was doing, keep the sync of everything, and then carry certain rivals into SummerSlam. And now you got something to do. Now you got something to work with the SummerSlam. I think they rushed it, and now that's why people are having a look. That's why that video is that YouTube joint is one of the most disliked videos of all time.
Nah, somebody bought
a little bit, but they ain't bring hundreds of thousands though. They ain't buy that much.
Did. But I'm telling you,
I don't believe it.
The story changed 4 times. Of course, it's nonsensical. Randy Orton had nothing to do with nothing. The only reason why Randy
Orton, as I said before, why didn't they have a plan for Randy? Why didn't they have a plan for Randy?
It's Randy Orton. Like, you don't.
It's Randy fucking Orton. Why don't you have a plan
but he's
for Randy
not
Orton?
a main eventer at this level in his career. He's not. He serves no purpose at this state at the top of the card. He serves a purpose,
right?
But not at the
Main
event.
That's why you have him in a mixed match. That's why you have him in the 4-way. That way, it's not all.
They didn't want any more 4-ways and triple threats and all that kind of stuff. I would have went with Drew versus Cody in a Hell in a Cell match, and I would just not have had that WrestlePalooza match. That would have been the rematch from Drew winning the title. It's the most physical story. He got screwed out of the title, right? By Jacob Fatu in essence. You know what I mean? That sets up Jacob possibly as a contender for whoever wins the match. Get Jacob in the mix. I don't think you needed to do all this extra stuff, but they felt like the fans had, because the story had kept getting reported, they about to do this next. Like, clearly somebody there just be running their mouth. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the bottom line. I know who it is, but I can't say that. But I know that somebody watches stuff after the fact. But they be telling everything, man. And I'm telling you, the biggest problem was Cody is too inside. He stay on the internet. I'm telling you, I talked to the nigga. He be on message boards. He be on like watching, like, because he was at AEW. That's what they did. That was part of how they built that company, knowing what the fans want. But you can't book a company like that. That's why I would have just stuck with my guns and been like, people say they tired of Drew. Drew has not been like at the top of the card, getting pushed down people's throat for year after year after year. He been getting screwed. If you really look at his last 2 years, the CM Punk stuff, the Seth Rollins stuff, I think this was a good time to feature him. The whole problem also was it was a story there for Sami Zayn that they were telling that they just dropped completely, had Drew squash him in Saudi Arabia at Royal Rumble.
I love that. There was nothing wrong with that. That was great.
I'm saying that was part of the story. Randy had nothing to do with nothing. Sammy was really the one in the story, and a lot of people thought that was building towards Sammy getting some type of title match or something like that. But they dropped that all together. Remember him, Sammy and Randy and Cody had that little thing. That's more of a story than anything.
Do you not feel like Randy should at least tie or at least get one over Cena? You don't think that should happen?
I don't think should have happened. Is he retiring right now? You just did this.
He got to get 3 titles. He got to start sometime. Instead, you got him on the sideline not doing nothing. Just keep looking at the damn belt. Keep looking at the damn belt. Keep looking at the damn belt.
I think he could have had a great feud with a Damian Priest, or you know what I mean, somebody you want to put over. Who do you want to put? Carmelo Hayes or Trick Williams? Put him in it.
Okay, I can't put him. I don't mind Trick, but he's still to me he's still a main eventer. To me.
And they started to build something there.
Now, is he megastar main eventer? No, of course not. But there's levels to everything. I think he's one.
I think he serves a purpose, but I really didn't think he needed to be shoehorned into a main event. And I hate using that word. I think this is my problem. There's one main event, guys. Let's stop kidding ourselves.
It's 2.
There is one main event of WrestleMania. And that is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk is the main event. All the rest of this stuff is just matches on the card. Yes,
day one main event.
You make it sound like it ain't even worth watching.
Like no, I'm just saying they could have done anything. They could have done the triple threat. They could have done a goddamn 6-pack challenge if they wanted to. A ladder match for the title. I don't care what they could have done. But the main event of WrestleMania is Roman Reigns versus CM Punk in every way possible. So everybody getting up in arms over this other title, it's like arguing over the Intercontinental title. Who the hell cares?
But it's the main title, though. Don't do that.
It's not the main title.
You know the historical preference under that main title.
It's not the main title. And I think people should have learned that by now. You know what the main title is?
It's whoever the main guy has it.
It's whoever Roman Reigns is going after. That's just the bottom line. That's just look when he was going after the Universal title, him and Brock. That was the main title. I don't care what the WWE title was doing. Yeah. That was the Universal title. Remember, nobody cared about who had the WWE
nobody
title.
Cared about
Mahal had that belt at one point. Yeah. Like the Universal title, whoever Brock and Roman was going after, that's the main title. So right now you got Roman Reigns and CM Punk.
Well, and why did they change it? And it's still the same title that Roman had. That title. That title that Cody has right now is still the same style, same all that. They introduced something else on when it came to Raw. Because Roman was never on Raw. That's why. If you really want to get back to it, Roman was never on Raw. He was only on SmackDown. So SmackDown became where it was at.
Because see, I think that's the part.
Fox in the US.
When they moved off of network TV and went to Netflix for Raw became the most important property they got. Even though SmackDown is the highest rated show they got, it's on USA on Friday night. It's not going to be at the same level as Raw on Netflix. Wherever, just follow the money. That's just the way it is, man. I ain't saying it's right, but that's just the way it is, man. Wherever you see Roman, that's going to be the most important. He's the top guy. I don't care if he got the title or not. Roman is the top guy. So it is what it is. When Gunther carried that world title, he brought prestige to it. But Jey Uso winning the world title didn't make it the number one title. When Cody beat Roman for that title over there on that other side, that was the number one title. And that's what people is kind of like, damn, they treating Cody like, you think putting Cody on one and Roman on the other will raise both of them up. That's why this booking has been making people scratch their head. You know what I mean? Like it really is. But let's look at some of these other matches.
Let me ask you a quick question. What do you think about Brock and Paul Heyman's statement?
What was that?
About him don't think he should lose until his retirement match.
I mean, was it his storyline or?
No, they just basically said that they know that his retirement run is coming. And he just said that he doesn't plan on losing to anybody until he gets up out of here. So basically retire undefeated, in a sense. You know, because, Gunther or whatever like that. You go against Gunther, you about to get up out of here. He said, no, I'm just not going to lose.
So he's not going to fight him twice?
Or he's not going to fight? According to Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar, he's not going to take an L until he's out of here.
And he's not fighting Oba. Because I don't
want Oba to fight him. Shout out to
Correct
Combat. We don't want Oba to fight him, and that's how it is. Now, if you say that according to Triple H, 50-50 booking, 50-50 means, hey, we fight 2 times. You win 1, I win 1. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Oba losing the first time and he beats him the second time. But
I honestly think if they face each other at Mania, Oba beating him. I really think that. That's why I don't know if it's 100%.
If it's the first time, I don't want it. Just give it to somebody else. It's rumors. Let LA Knight fight him.
Well, let's speak to this point. Devin made in the comments. They still don't have an undercard match solidified. No storytelling for anyone else to carry the fuse into Mania. And this is the sentiment I've been arguing against for like 2 weeks. Like
against? So he's wrong?
Against. WrestleMania is supposed to be predictable. WrestleMania in January, you should have an idea of where things are going for April. But it shouldn't be to the point where you know everything, but there should be seeds planted.
That's why it's a road to WrestleMania.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So by now, if you don't know the undercard for WrestleMania, either you're not paying attention, you're not like thinking that, oh, this is WrestleMania worthy. Just because you don't think it's WrestleMania worthy doesn't mean that's not the match you're probably going to get. So a little exercise I did.
Who was Penta fighting?
Huh?
Who was Penta going to fight?
There's 2 things you can do with Penta right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What is the story that has been happening with Mask being involved here lately?
It should be Mask versus Mask. If you talking about the El Grandes.
No, I'm not talking about that. That's a whole different story.
Oh, you just said mask.
Okay. Who pulled off somebody's mask like last week?
What's your point?
Gunther is right there.
So you want Gunther versus Penta for the IC?
Why not?
Jesus.
Why not?
The person that retired Goldberg, the person that retired Cena, the person that retired AJ Styles, the person that should not be in this feud with Dragon Lee is in the feud with Dragon Lee, but he's going to kick his ass regardless. Going against Penta for the IC title?
I didn't say that's at WrestleMania. I'm saying, what if he kills Penta, takes the title? Who's the match at WrestleMania that you could logically book on this retirement type of tip?
So then you're gonna serve up Ray
on a platter. This is it for him.
I don't think you need the IC for that.
I'm just telling you that you asked me what you do with Penta. I'm telling you can easily do that.
I think we're headed that way. I think we're headed that way with Dragon Lee. I think Penta has that belt for a while.
Okay.
I think to your credit though, I believe Gunther is going to get rid of Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. That I agree.
Gunther versus Rey WrestleMania.
Yeah, get him up out of here.
Okay. So somebody tried to debate me. I said, well, 2 nights of WrestleMania, how many matches you doing each night? Now, if you go back to last year, they did 6 to 7 matches on each night.
7.
All right. So you need 14, maybe 15 matches, maybe 13, depending on what it is. So this is me not even.
8. That's what they said.
This is me not even filling out the whole card. This is just off of the storylines they've been doing.
Punk versus off the top. Roman. Pause. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Punk versus Roman. 1. You got Cody and Orton already written in. You got Stephanie and Liv already written in due to the winning the Rumbles. You got Jade versus Rhea.
Jade and Rhea.
Seth versus Logan Paul.
Logan Paul.
Drew versus Jacob McIntyre.
Okay.
Jacob Fatu. You got Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor. You got Brock versus Oba. It's already there. You got Grande Americano versus the other Grande Americano. Mask versus Mask. You got Becky Lynch in a rematch versus AJ Lee.
That's 7 for Raw right now. That's 7 on Raw, 3 for SmackDown.
How many matches is that?
10.
10 total.
10 total. So I haven't even mentioned Pentagon, Carmelo Hayes, the tag team titles on the women's side, the tag team titles on the men's side. That's 4 more. How many is that?
Okay, so you said Prince is going to have another one, so that's 8. You said Carmelo, that's 9.
The women's tag team titles.
The women's tag team titles, that's 10.
The men's tag
team titles, that's 11.
That's not 11. I named you 10 before I even got to them. I named you Punk Roman 1, Cody.
I might have lost count. I might have lost count on this.
Seth Logan.
We might be at 14, 15.
Don Finn, Brock Oba, Gunther Ray, Grande versus Grande, Carmelo, United States.
On my end, you freezing. That's why I stormed me off a little bit.
Okay. I've named 15 matches right there. And we haven't even gotten into any type of special things. We haven't gotten anything with what's his name?
So I'm not knocking what you're saying, and all
those
are very plausible.
TV.
All those
just
are very plausible.
Watching TV, I don't have no inside information on none of that.
But it goes to what you said when you started out. It might not be the matches that you think are WrestleMania worthy. I think that's what Devin's coming from. The storytelling throughout this whole thing isn't as
they still
juicy
don't
as
have
it used to be.
Undercard matches solidified. No storytelling for anyone else.
No storytelling.
Okay, so there's no story with Seth Rollins and Logan Paul and everything they've been doing with the Vision and Seth ever since the injury. Look, we know what happened to the Vision. I mean, that whole story has been impacted due to Braun Breaker getting hurt.
They've been hurt.
Other big fella getting hurt. There's a story there. I don't care what you can debate that. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. think that's kind of like self-evident what that story has been.
I think that's an uppercard. I want to consider that undercard.
That is, anything that's not a title match is an undercard.
So everything that's not a title match, you think is okay? That would be my caveat. If they was just fighting for the title, or at least in the title position, then I wouldn't consider that an undercard.
Dominic Mysterio versus Finn Balor.
Extreme storyline behind them.
I mean, you can't get no more story than that.
That's story.
Again, Grande versus Grande.
That is a Triple A story.
Easy story there. Easy story there. I'm just saying, look, you got. I could see something coming out of this whole Javon Evans, Kofi Kingston thing. They building something. I don't know if it's Mania worthy, but I can see them doing some type of multi-man ladder match or something at Mania for that title with Javon shines and maybe he wins something. I don't know. Carmelo been doing his again. I could go on and on and on. I'm just saying. I watch the TV.
It's not to his level that he used to watch or whatever like that. What he loves. I think that's just what it is. But the stories are there. Some of them are just clinging to life. That's all.
And I barely mentioned the women. The women got a lot more stories than actually really probably going to make the card. You know what I mean? Like
they're gonna get like 5 matches.
They said this probably be the most women's matches in the history of WrestleMania. You know what I mean? Yeah, because EO right now not on the card. Asuka, they got to do something with these women. They've been doing a breakup storyline with Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. I don't need to see it, but it's a story. You got the big girls, the World Tag Team titles.
Irresistible Forces. You say that they.
I love them. They great. They great. Anyway. I know it's getting late, but I'm just saying, man. I think we as fans,
the matches are there. It's up to them to get the hype around them.
You got 6 weeks.
It's up to them. They have to do it.
You got 6 weeks.
Yeah.
I have been to 8 WrestleManias. I think I need to emphasize that. I remember some WrestleManias that I bought tickets to months in advance. We didn't know the final card until the week of the show. Like, I remember going to, like, watching Raw on Monday before Mania. Like, damn, I remember one year they didn't finalize 2 matches until Sunday Night Heat before WrestleMania. Like to act like y'all knew the card for WrestleMania 3 months in advance in years past. You're either having a bad memory. Yeah, you might have knew the. I remember one year. Remember they used to have No Way Out in February or something like that, or that pay-per-view right before WrestleMania. They wouldn't finalize something until that, and Mania would be like 4 weeks later. Like that is the state of people have become so chronically, I don't know, online that we forget. Like this is not new. Vince McMahon used to change his mind all the time. Yeah. And everybody, Triple H is booking. Compared to who?
Triple H is
compared to who? Vince McMahon's booking was horrible. I sat through it. I never left. For years.
He made stars.
How long did it take him to make Roman Reigns a star?
He also failed it. He also made stars that weren't necessary. Jinder Mahal was a star.
He started pushing Roman Reigns in 2014. Roman Reigns didn't get over until he turned heel in 2020 during the pandemic.
And it was like 2018, 2020.
Are y'all kidding me?
No, because when he came back from leukemia. That was still during.
That was during the pandemic.
Yeah.
2020.
2019.
No, 2020.
It was
Roman Reigns was not over.
Yeah, it was 2020.
He was not over.
Because even that first WrestleMania, he still had his old theme music. They didn't change it to the Bloodline until like that next SmackDown, or like 2 weeks later.
I was in San Francisco when Seth Rollins cashed in, and the whole crowd. Seth Rollins supposed to be a heel. They cheered like a motherfucker. Yes. I was at
him versus Brock because it was the second time he did that in a row.
Yo,
I don't care if you was in the stands or not because y'all fans in the stands are idiots. That's what y'all are. Because you know what you do is people like you that will see that segment on Monday Night Raw with all them goddamn masked men looking like some goddamn putties off of Power Rangers and start saying holy shit, and y'all enjoyed that. So I don't care about if you was in that stands or not. I don't trust none of y'all opinion.
That was terrible. No, I remember when Roman first won his title and he came out. We was literally everybody like, when Roman comes out, turn your back. Like the whole section turned around and look at this man. They booed him out. He was a baby face. And yo, how long did they reject John Cena before they finally said, all right, okay, we respect him? I watched wrestling with y'all and people was hating John Cena. Stop it. Anyway. I just think fans are fickle, man. Fans are fickle.
When he came back from the suspension.
Who? Cena?
Yeah.
To me, personally, when he came back from injury.
They said he tore his tricep. It was suspension.
I remember the ECW thing with Edge. Like,
I remember the one RVD? with RVD.
He wore Edge too.
But that was like if Cena win, we riot. That was
the RVD one. But the Edge one was when I thought the people turned the corner when Lita, and that little situation. But RVD one, he was a super heel there. He was on enemy territory. But yeah, anyway, long story. It's hard to make stars when people love a good heel. It is what it is. Like Cody versus Randy. Randy gonna get cheered so much. And Cody gonna get booed out the building. You see
got 4 faces at for the main event.
Nah. Punk gonna get booed. Come on.
You say he gonna get booed?
Hell yeah. Everybody love OTC. You think he not?
I don't think he gonna get booed.
I think it's gonna be
it's gonna be like the triple threat match. Each one of them gonna have their cheers.
I don't see a problem with that.
The cheers overdo the boost.
I don't think you need to turn Randy heel. I think Cody could go heel, but I don't.
Yes, that's true. But we're waiting for that 2009 Randy to come back.
Yeah,
that's what's keeping Randy relevant.
Yeah,
I gotta start punting people.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'm not as down on the Mania card.
5-6 more weeks of this, guys.
Others are. I think it's plenty of time, and that's what I'm saying. I don't want the card to peak too early, and then everybody like, damn, okay, we was waiting to get there. Like some things can develop in 5 weeks. Like that's a whole pay-per-view cycle. Like what are we talking about? Like let's see what happens. I was happy for Penta. I didn't think he was going to win that title. I thought he would keep it on Dom, and him and Finn would be for the RC title.
I think that would have been the better move. But I will say
he might get it back.
He might, yeah.
The reason why I said I want Penta to hold it, long to have a long reign, because he actually, I don't know what it is. I might have fell for the promo, man. But it looked like it means something to him.
Yeah,
it felt like it means something, and that's what's lacking a lot of times with some of these, especially the under titles. Shout out to Mello. Mello's doing this thing. I wish they get off the challenge thing, but it's just like that. I see title was just like Dom may do a great enough job. So it's like, damn, Penta, like I really feel like you might be good right here for the rest of your career at the IC, and you wouldn't even be it'd be okay with you, and I'm okay with that.
And I forgot LA Knight, because that was the rumor, LA Knight and Brock. That might be the other match.
Still go.
Yeah, but again, Oba, I just think the fans is ready for it. It would be nice. And if you don't do Oba and Brock, Oba gotta have some type of featured match. Maybe do
you gotta feed him Sheamus.
Man, when you name Sheamus, or bring Royce Keys out and let them.
No.
Like form a tag team or something.
We gonna act like Roy Keys don't exist. That's what we're gonna do now. It's shameful what they're doing to Royce, man.
He been having some nice little interview segments with Stephanie. But I don't have nothing to do with him.
You don't understand.
It's this thing. It's like you don't want to beat him, so you got to do something with him. But that's what happens when you got a bunch of people. You don't want to beat Javon. You don't want to beat. You know what I mean? And you don't want. I don't know. It is what it is. But good problem to have. They got a lot of talent. Maybe bring some more people up from NXT that you don't mind squashing. You know what I mean? Like,
don't do that to Ethan Page. Don't do that.
No, Ethan's good. He's good.
I say don't do that to Ethan.
I've seen his stuff. I don't watch NXT, but I've seen some of his stuff in spurts. And then what do you do with Trick? You know what I mean? Like,
they should have fed him to Sammy, and then I think they should other way around. They should let Sammy. He should beat Sammy. That's it. But they kind of got away from that though. That's the problem.
They moved him up. He had the little segment with Randy last week.
Yeah, he having that segment with Randy and Cody and stuff like that. No, go back down to not go back down. Just pivot towards Trick, because Trick is the Magic Johnson and Sammy's the Larry Bird. That's enough. That's enough for a WrestleMania match.
Because people want to. Why I like factions. Wrestling need more groups. Like AEW, they are very successful. Everybody's
in a goddamn group in AEW.
They got groups though, and that gets more people on TV. You can do tag team matches, do 6-man tag team matches, and it makes it more exciting. Like we even talk about the Bloodline on SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like they gotta have somebody to feud with. No,
they don't. No, they don't. You can
I like JT Mateo and what's his name?
You like the Y62?
Solo? I like them. They cool.
You like the Y62?
Nah, they can go.
They can go.
Keep them in AAA. They'll be fine. But that's it tonight. We went long tonight, but it was a good show.
We had a guest.
Yeah, we did have a guest, and I appreciate y'all bearing with me. But we was talking. I was like, man, come on the show, goddammit. When we go at it, we be good, man. Mark is always, his sports and stuff like that. So we'll have more later in the year, probably towards because he knows basketball. You're a Boston Celtics fan.
You said around WrestleMania. You said around WrestleMania.
Yeah. But he a huge Boston Celtics fan, and I meant to get his thoughts on Jaylen Brown getting tossed, because I know you had some strong opinions on that. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Free agency. It continues. That's all I got.
Yeah. All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in tonight. We'll talk to you soon. For Larry, Calvin, Justin, we'll see you next week for another edition of Get Off the Damn Fence. Y'all have a good one.
That trip.